What's going on, family? How you doing? Let me go ahead and introduce the crew. We got Mr. Trev Smooth, Keisha, Jay, Willie D, Toya, Riri J, BK Baxter, True Table, me, myself, PJI. Pretty came. Go to the people, let's talk. How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Shit, cool.
I'm good. How are you?
No complaints, man. Good to see you guys. As you guys come
We up
in.
all the new people.
Oh, yeah, we got a lot of new people. Somebody got a cat? That's a feisty cat, too. Anyhow, as you guys come in, hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you catch it on replay, hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe as well. Got an excellent show here for you guys. Women in survival mode. Men feel used. Came across this conversation. Shout out to Trill, man. He was on there, the show with a couple of his partners, and they was having a discussion. True sent it to me, actually. So I appreciate you, sir. Can you hear me, True? Okay, yeah. True sent it to me, man. So took a deep dive into it. And it was a interesting discussion, which I would love to get you guys' perspectives on it. So we're going to go ahead and do a play, and then we're going to react to it, and we're going to pull some topics from it and see if we can tie it into our own reality, okay? Cool? All right. Keisha, you there? I'm doing a mic check with you.
I'm here.
Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and run this clip, and then I'll come back. Let me go ahead and share it. Give me 1 second. Everybody's so quiet.
Hi.
There we go. Action.
We're respecting the host.
We're just waiting for the clip, man.
Okay. I got it. Here we go.
Give him the DJ.
Oh yeah, you just want to control them because they young. But we gotta understand though. We know they still young, but 23 years old is that's a grown woman though.
And also too, you gotta understand what a man's intentions is with you.
Mm-hmm.
My intention is to retire you.
Mm.
So at the end of the day, what you make is great, sure. But it's not great for me receiving the benefit. It's great in the fact that you're disciplined enough, just in case some shit happen to me, you can goddamn grab that steering wheel and we can keep rolling.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But in the essence of how a lot of women think that, okay, I got money, I got a degree, I got this, I got that. But as a man, if my intention is to retire you, what benefit is that to me?
Mm-hmm. Like I said, the man take care of everything. Your money mean.
And just put shit on the table. Most women don't want to goddamn work forever. Most women's intention, and you heard the women say, most women's intention, or most women's aspiration.
How many women here want to work every day?
There you go. So again, a woman's aspiration is for her to not have to work that hard. It's for her to not have to go to these business meetings, for her to not have to throw these events and things of that nature. So you got to ask yourself, if that's what a man's intention is, and that's what my aspirations are, how important is my success business-wise to this man?
I just think a power couple, I know that's so cliche, it's just you can accomplish more if both people have the same mindset versus this young girl, or I won't even say young girl, just a woman who just don't really have nothing going. So if you have a Beyonce and a Jay-Z versus who can we think of?
Okay, but
like Beyonce and Jay-Z are going to be 20 times more powerful because Beyonce, she don't have to work.
What's that age gap?
How old is Jay-Z? He's like 57.
How old is Beyonce?
Beyonce about 40.
Beyonce's 43.
Talking about a 12-year, 10-year difference. Or
okay.
He gonna ask how old?
No, I'm just saying. So
they might have a 11-year age.
So what I'm saying, the couple you chose just happened to be
LeBron and never mind. Savannah don't do nothing.
The couple you chose just happened to be that 35-year-old man and that 21-year-old girl. The most power couple is ever.
Reason being, though, bro, is because
I'm just saying that's what she chose.
Okay, yeah, bro. They were first in mine, but damn. Can I pick somebody else?
Bro, I didn't talk to a lot of successful women in my life, and they all have the same aspiration. I don't want to have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I can agree.
They would. They want to do
We
it.
will.
I'm gonna go ahead and stop it there, man. So we were just having a little dialogue, and it was talking about at the very end. Trill mentioned something about women really don't want to work. They really don't want to be out here. What do you ladies think? Go ahead and kick it off. Who want to start first? BK, Riri J.
Yeah, I mean, no, most women don't want to work. I mean, I don't know any people who really want to work, to be honest. Everybody always talks about if they, win the lottery, what they would do. And the first thing everybody doing is quitting their job. So I do think it's an aspiration for most people to not want to work, specifically women.
Okay.
I know I'm
What about?
tired. I'm tired of putting 80, 90 hours a week, but that has no bearing on, I feel like I don't, I mean, if that's the case, if I really, really didn't want to work, I would just go on like sugardaddy.com or find a sugar daddy so I can be taken care of, because that's what a lot of women do. Create an OnlyFans and not worry about my image and, things like that. But, I do have my own goals and aspirations. So I think that sometimes a lot of women don't want to have to work. They want that partner that's going to have their back and support their dreams and the things that they want to, the goals that they have for themselves.
Yeah, I agree. I sure don't want to work. So I'm a mom. I'd much rather stay home with my kids all day rather than to go be anywhere else. So.
Oh, yeah, not me.
Yeah.
Are your kids little?
No, they're like 8 now. So.
Oh, well, they're little. See, mine are grown, so I understand it.
Yeah, no. Even better though, because now you could if you didn't have the option where you had to work, you could go live your life. You can go do things.
My point, yes.
Right,
Exactly.
100%. Indulge in your hobbies and whatnot.
But when you say you don't want to work, are you saying, I'm new here? Hello. When y'all saying y'all don't want to work, are you saying you don't want to work because you want somebody else to do the work and stay home, or what do you mean? Like, what are we saying when we saying? Because he said his question was women don't want to work, and so my question is, why is it that women per se don't want to work? And BK said it. She said she thinks everybody really don't want to work, but the focus is women. And what are y'all saying? That I'm just assuming. Are we saying that we don't want to work because we want our men to work, or we just don't want to work because we tired of working?
I personally think there's different dynamics. I think there are people that don't want to work because they want a man to take care of them, and they don't have like a plan in life. They're not ambitious, and they're okay with getting their hair and nails and living that lavish life that you see online. I think there's women who don't want to have to work so hard, right? Like trying to pay their bills, and would like to be able to do the things that they want to do, their passion. I don't know whether it's start a business or whatever that, whatever that entails. So that's what my thought is.
Right.
So I had something I wanted to add to that really quickly. So does anyone actually consider the paradox that we run into? Because we understand that it's real cool for women to live a soft life. Great. Understood, right? But the problem is most women want the responsibility of an adult. Well, as a child, actually. Women want the responsibility of a child, but the authority of an adult. So what happens is they want to be able to live the soft life, but at the same time, be able to make decisions the same way. It doesn't really work like that. So we have to ask ourselves, ladies, are you prepared for what comes with that type of lifestyle when you don't have to work? Are you prepared to actually rest in your femininity, or do you think that we're going to treat you like an adult when we're actually taking care of you like a child?
I think that's an interesting thing to chime in on, because I feel like a lot of women are already in a position where they're taking care of things and they're making the decisions in their household. So to say that someone's going to come take over that, they have to trust that that person is going to have all the best interest for them to rest in their feminine, to say, okay, well, he can make all the decisions and I'm going to sit back and relax.
Pretty good.
I think this is interesting. I do think it's interesting that we're all speaking in this fantastical world from a couple of reasons, couple of directions. Number one, nobody wants to work. Man or woman, nobody wants to work. We live in capitalism. We have to work. We have to work. We don't live in a communist society. We do not live in a collectivist society. We live in a capitalist society. And specifically, as Black people, Black women have to work, period. And if you stay at home, that is work. I don't know if y'all have ever seen teachers who educate young kids, even when they're in a daycare center where there's only 4 kids in the room. They be looking tired by the end of their 9 hours, okay? So if you're even a stay-at-home mother, you're working. You are working, absolutely working. So I don't really see any parts in this equation where anybody's living a soft life for real, right? Like, I think that most of us, the majority of us, are working, and a very small minority of men, period, can give their women soft lives from a financial perspective. And I'm going to say that because you can have a soft life that Black women have been providing for themselves for decades, to where you go on trips, you take care of yourself, you do the things that make sure you enjoy your life, right? And we call that soft life, but this definition of soft life, which means financial provision, is not realistic. So I would love, honestly, truly, can we have this conversation with the acknowledgement that less than 10% of Black men can provide for a full household? Can we please have that conversation? And let's be let's be that realistic with it. Because let's break it down by the numbers, right? The majority of households, Black or white, are equal earners, right? Meaning that they're both parties working. Then a smaller minority of that portion that is not the equal earners, the woman still works but makes significantly less. And then an even tiny minority, Black women are actually staying at home, completely not working. So let's just kind of keep that in mind when we have the conversation. It's not to take shots at anybody. It's truly just to be realistic.
But I was going to say, I think we also have there's different dynamics. So I totally agree with what you're saying, but there are the family dynamic where you have, your significant other and you're caring for their children or the home. But then we also have the dynamic of single women out there who want a provider, someone to pay all their bills without that, that love and knowing that they're supposed to give off a certain, so like what Trev was saying, so are you willing to operate in your feminine so this way he can fully provide for you, right? Because now you want to make certain decisions. You want a man to provide for you and do all this, give, but then you also want to make the decisions. It doesn't really work like that.
Can I ask you, is your femininity going to get him a promotion at work to make more money?
We're talking about two different dynamics.
Saying, like, is the femininity going to help him make more money?
Oh, I don't believe it will.
Oh.
So Pretty, you act like you just dropped the mic or something. What I say is this: a woman can actually be inspirational. She can breathe life into her man. Her support
Facts
is actually extremely valuable.
100%.
A truly feminine woman is actually very valuable to men, and this is from a man's perspective. If you have a wench who is breathing down your neck, pressuring you, or talking crazy, then yeah, that is going to do the opposite. It'll have the opposite effect on you. But if you have a supportive feminine woman in your life who knows how to play that Robin position, then damn straight it'll help you get that promotion. There's women who could help you out with your reports. She could put your paperwork together. She can do so many different things. She could be your secretary. She could be whatever. That's if she wants to do that. But even just her inspiration, just her femininity, just her doing what it is to give you that energy and inspiration will make all the difference.
I agree.
Can I please respond to that? Because
Go ahead.
that
And then we're gonna have
once again,
Marco after
here
that.
we come. Here we are with the contradiction. Because if a woman is speaking life into you, she's probably giving you feedback. She's probably giving you some different angles that maybe you're not thinking of. She's probably saying, hey, babe, have you thought about it this way? Hey, I actually can see that. I know you complained that you're kind of getting this pushback from your manager, but I actually saw this work in the past. Do you maybe want to go this route? Or, hey, you know what? I did prepare, which is crazy. I did prepare your resume for you. Yeah, I went ahead and did that. That would be somebody who's probably smart, someone who is savvy when it comes to understanding business acumen, somebody who has some kind of career success of their own, right? To be able to do any of those things that you mentioned. A lot of time, based on y'all's definition, this is not considered a feminine, soft, submissive woman. That's not her. So once again, the feminist, soft, submissive woman that's not speaking back to you when you came home for the 4th year in a row and didn't get a promotion, and she's gonna be like, okay, babe, I'll just put your feet up, I'll run your bath water. Okay, yeah, no, you'll get it next time. Versus the one that's saying, hey, I've seen you for 4 years now, do the same exact thing, it's not working. Let's go ahead and maybe try something different. I know this is frustrating, but let's try it this way. I've seen this work in the past in another situation. Do you want my help? Right? Like those would not be the same women. So yeah,
but that's still support though. That's still
it is support. I'm saying he just said feminine, and I'm trying to say that would not be considered the feminine women according to their definition.
True, go ahead. Huh?
Honestly, I was just listening. You know, I think we got some fresh perspectives on the panel. The topic at hand is, I think it's a solid one, but yeah, we hear this, you know, women don't want to work. I don't know. It's kind of hard to pinpoint it. I think that because it's a new phenomenon that women are working in the capacity that they're working. I honestly believe that a part of them working is, you know, a new development in maybe some of their esteem or ability to, you know, exist in a world outside of the slot that we gave them, you know, at one point, just being a mother or just being a homemaker, whatever it may be. I personally applaud them working, you know, show your skill set. That's fine. Get to it. But I think sometimes some of the men in the space romanticize removing women from the workforce, where a lot of them seem to be talking about the fact that they really do want at least the support or maybe the option. I don't know. I think women are okay working as long as they know that they don't have to slave away. They wake up one day, maybe have a bad run in with a boss. They want to be able to fall back on something. That's my assumption. Now I'll land there.
Right. Okay. Did you speak yet?
Yeah, but to some of the things that Pretty and True said, I mean, there is a difference in the Black community. Black women have pretty much always worked the majority, right? We went from slavery to, you know, Jim Crow to moving, like, you know, families moving from the South to the North, working in industrialism, all the things. So I think that we've always been in the workforce. What we're in now has been changing, right? Black people are moving from domestications and customer service type things to more, you know, white collar, intellectual, you know, STEM stuff, all the things. So I think this movement for women not working, right, is actually kind of newer in the Black community, and a majority of people could not afford it, and a majority of people still can't afford it. I mean, it's 20% of the people in relationships have a stay-at-home woman, and that means you need to, majority of them make what, $90,000 at least. So we're talking about a small percentage of people who could actually afford to do that if they live a lifestyle in the 90K range, which, you know, is it's a little bit harder to do in this economy now. So yeah, I just think it's a pretty emphasis on reality, and what majority of us are actually doing in life is that we're working and they're contributing, and that contribution is actually necessary for survival of their families.
All right. I was going to play some more of the clip. Mom, did you want to speak on it right now? You want to play the clip? And Lakeisha, I know you haven't spoke either.
If y'all wanted to catch me up, y'all could. If not, you can play the next clip.
Yeah, we're still early on the clip. It's just one conversation. Lakeisha, did you want to add to it?
No, I'll save it for now.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
trying to listen for a little more. I was gonna ask BK and Pretty the numbers, the 10% and the 90,000. Like where those stats come from?
The Department of Labor, but I can pull it up while the video is being played and give you the exact numbers.
Yeah, Census and the Pew Research do a lot of the work looking at workforce, race, marriage status, and relating all the things that's collected in the census and the Department of Labor and creating articles and stuff on it that I've read up on.
Here we go, y'all.
Because we kind of have to.
Right.
It's like a survival
But I don't
mode
wanna
type
have to.
thing.
But when they run into that nigga that's like, look, baby, chill. Sit back.
I'm changing my name from Brittany the Real to the Brittany the Housewife.
There you go.
So your
No
experience-
further questions, Your Honor.
So your experience, you did both. I mean, like you.
Well, I was being funny because I did do both. Like I've been working since I was 12 years old and always been independent, always had money.
What you like better?
I like having my own money.
So you, over a
Even
housewife.
yeah. I only enjoy being a housewife because I could be with my babies, but solely relying on my husband for every dollar, that's not fun. That
Why
doesn't feel
though?
good.
But
Why
that's
though?
so.
Let's goddamn deep dive into why.
Okay. And he didn't make me feel any type of way. Like
Of course
he was
not.
a great
He a
provider.
stand-up nigga.
Yeah,
So-
he's
so
a great.
why?
I think it was just that it was just something in me that felt less than.
It's fear.
I
It's
just was
fear.
just always having my own money and I was making 6 figures at 19.
Right. But again, that's
You
why I
just told me
speak to the
where you're
why.
broke.
Yeah.
I'm one of the 6 women that he keeps talking about.
Salute
Okay,
to the 6 women on
I'm
earth.
one of the 6.
But
We are one of the 6.
but what
Come on back. Come on, bring it back in. Bring it back in.
Bro.
I just.
But look though.
That's rare. That's rare.
Look though.
Yeah.
Look though.
Somebody should have picked me at 19. I should have been a Sierra and a Russell, but it didn't happen that way.
I say this because most women who are uber successful, they are that way out of necessity.
Yeah.
It's because growing up, I seen my mama depend on a man and it didn't go right. I seen my sister depend on a man and it didn't go right. So I'm not gonna replicate that. I'm gonna bring my own shit to the table. You understand? And it's like you're operating out of a place of fear. And that's not healthy, is what we're saying.
Right.
Because if you'd had a man in your life that said, look, sit your ass down, I got it, your mindset would be very different than what it is
I've
now.
always had to be in survival mode.
Bingo.
I was a teen mom, so
That's
I
what
didn't
I'm
have an option to not have money and not work and not
Right.
be successful.
And that's women. I just be trying to understand them because it's like all the women want a man to provide, but then you get somebody who, not just necessarily you, but you get somebody who got a man to provide on how to do it, and then it's like, I'm gonna have my own. So it's like, do women really know what they want?
They do. They want to be safe.
Yep.
They want to be taken care of. But because I've never seen an example of a man that made a woman feel safe, I don't even feel like that shit is plausible. So I'm gonna keep my get out of jail free card in my back pocket just in case. And that speaks to the lack of trust that a lot of women have for their man. And again, it's not necessarily what that man is doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's her history of not ever being able to depend on a man to say, look, sit your ass down. I got you.
But I'm gonna be honest. We keep it honest on her. I think that's what me and Cinnamon is going through right now.
Uh-oh.
I think Cinnamon, she want a job like for no reason.
Go ahead and kick it off, Mark.
I prefer let the ladies go. And yeah.
Pearl.
I actually have the stat here, and it is I call it Department of Labor, but it's Bureau of Labor and Statistics. Based on 2024 national averages, this is in total, not Black. only 23% of all families have only one spouse who's working. When you compare that to Black families, and I will get that number, don't you worry, that number is exacerbated, and it gets to be about 10% in Black families. And I keep saying this is not a shot, this is just facts. So it is from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. I'm not taking that out of my ass. And that wasn't for you, that was for the comments that was saying, that's not true, it's from ChatGPT. No, it's actually from a government website.
I just be asking, so I know.
No, you're fine, my love. I appreciate you asking, but there was some in the comments that was like, she got it from ChatGPT. No, not all of us looked at chat to get answers.
All right, so we got that. Thank you. Pearl, go ahead. Ms. Pearl?
Hey y'all, I'm sorry. I'm on my phone and it's probably like at 15%, and I'm looking at this new computer I'm on, and it's taking all day to load. I'm sorry. But I did listen to the video. I did.
Okay.
I think that was great for them to dive into the psychological reasons why we say we want something, and then when it arrives, we don't necessarily know how to allow it to happen, because we have already adapted and adjusted ourselves to an independent type of state of mind. I think many of us suffer from that. I don't think that's necessarily something that's wrong unless you don't know how to stop being that way. But to be honest, it's just a natural mechanism that we've adapted and adjusted to. I just feel like just due to us working, like you have to work. It's a survival tactic. But I don't know any woman that sincerely doesn't want necessarily me to take care of her. Just go back to, like I said, just have to learn how to work with that man and understand what it is to be taken care of. And like Trill was saying, it's more like a fear. So you have to be self-aware and acknowledge what it is that's going on with you and how to balance that. I'll land. I'm sorry, I'm
Cool.
still a little distracted with this computer.
No, you're good. You're good. And I do appreciate you mentioning the say versus do paradox, where women typically will ask for certain things until they get it. So, question for you, Toya. Women are wildly apprehensive when it comes to men. What do you think this is? Is it trauma? Like, what do you think the catalyst is?
I think it is. It goes back to what I was talking about before. It's the trust. You have to trust that he is going to, put you in a position where you feel emotionally safe, not just financially. Everything else will come if you feel emotionally safe in the situation. And that sometimes is not the easiest thing to do, because we've had not just men that have been in positions where, they make us feel unsafe, but our fathers, our grandfathers, our uncles, our brothers, just the men in our lives in general have put us in a position where we felt fear or we felt unsafe. So how are we going to trust this random man off the street?
But don't you got to allow him, like, I don't want to say allow him, but I think that we go in it already untrusting. And so we already have our guards up, like, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, I don't even think we give men a chance to show that, because we're so, defensive. I know that's how I used to be. I can't speak for everybody else, but I used to be like that.
But Keisha, you
And
said
so
you used to be. You said used
I feel
to
like
be.
I used to be very.
So if that's the case, Lakeisha, what made the light come on? What was your moment of awakening?
I think I'm still learning, but as I'm getting older, obviously different chips, as I call them, you learn that, obviously we all have past hurt, trauma, all that. And my goal has been to just not to consistently take it into the next, into the next, into the next. I've had a few ships now. Y'all have too. So I've been trying to sometimes do more listening than talking. Because I've never known a soft life. I've never known nothing about it. I've never had a chance to that. 20 years in the Army, I've never done it. I've never felt it. I have no idea what it is. So when we have these conversations, I feel lost because I'm used to doing it myself. I've always done it myself. But I think now I don't want nobody to take care of me. I just want us to combine efforts. And what that looks like, that right for us. So I'm kind of learning about that as I'm meeting different women. I mean, different women, different men. And so, yeah, I can't say I'm there, Trev. I'm learning at 46.
Okay.
I'm getting
So
there.
it makes
Can I
sense.
say
So Jay, I
something?
got a question for you. I wanted to ask you, definitely give your point, but I wanted to ask you this too. What do you think it would actually take for women to be able to trust men in that situation? Do you think it starts with the men, or do you think it starts with the woman? And what could be done?
I feel like there's responsibility on both parts. People operate in their survival mode, and it's typically not just manipulation. It's a psychological state. I train on trauma in the brain and how that affects. It could be abandonment issues as a child. It could be their last relationship. It could be somebody abusing your trust, or somebody cheating on you, or things like that. And so I think that people have to. Something I think Keisha said is, or even pretty. Don't get me wrong. But being aware, right? I think awareness is important. We all have a role. Like, this world is very insecure, and there are things that people are going to do and say that are going to affect us, right? And so how do we get through that, right? It's about being strong inside and building yourself up to be able to hurl over those things, regardless of what that looks like. And I think that what a lot of times people do is, just because this person hurt me, the next person that looks like that or may emulate that, or is trying to take on that position, now we're projecting what we experienced in that past situation onto them. And a lot of times it's not fair. And I think that sometimes men are the brunt of it, but then also could be the cause of it. So I feel like there's this like give and pull in it. I think we all have our own work to do. So there's no perfect answer, I don't believe.
Yeah. Also, therapy helps. Therapy helps. I don't care. I'm a big advocate for therapy because I feel like it's underutilized in the Black community. And if we can take a look at ourselves and understand
For
why we
whom?
do the things
For
we
whom,
do and
Toya,
why we
though?
feel the way we feel, then we can start with accountability.
For whom, Toya, the men or the women? Who
Both.
needs this therapy?
Both.
In this particular situation, so
In
you
this
think that the
particular
men
situation, I would say the women, but also the men,
got it.
because you have to understand how to make her feel comfortable enough to trust you. You can't just go into something with blind trust. It sounds great, but it's just not real.
How does a man make a woman trust her?
Trust him?
Trust him, yeah. How
Yeah,
does he do that?
I guess for every woman is different. So I can't really answer for everybody, but I can answer for myself.
Okay, what's your answer?
I think
Okay. For me, one would be making me feel safe emotionally, because sometimes I'll be all over the place emotionally. And I need him to be able to say, okay, babe, come here, sit down, relax for a minute, take a deep breath. Are you good? So I can center
right.
myself and get my thoughts, in order.
Mhm.
And then
So
that's
Toya,
one. Go ahead.
do you realize you just said that therapy for the men because your emotions are all over the place?
Yes, I do know that. But however,
Got it.
they say that women are emotional creatures. That's our thing, right? And the men are so
And men
logical,
are not.
right?
They're not. So
They're not. They're more
Listen.
logical, right? So if they're so logical, I'm going off on a tangent right now. I feel like it. If they're so logical, I'm not saying all men, but it's always a man. Which one of the females know what I'm talking about when I say that? Nobody?
Crickets.
I think that I think it's fair to have certain expectations of men, Miss Toya, but I also assume, based on experience and watching a lot of women interact with men, I think you guys put too much on men. And you stack the deck so high. Most of the development by the time I meet you should already be set if I'm dealing with a woman. And I think that's the issue. A lot of females exist, a lot of women don't. There's a vast difference in maturity. So basically what you're telling me is that if I come into your life, I have to have the skill sets to be able to somehow streamline your emotional
Not
rural.
streamline.
Okay.
Ground.
Ground you. Okay. Let's take ground. I
Mhm.
think that's a fair expectation. I think that's a stretch because that requires skills. And I think as a person, as an adult, you have to know what your triggers are. You have to know when you're tripping. You have to know when you're irrational. You have to be able to recognize that. That's not my job as a man, in my opinion.
Yep.
That's not my job. I
I
know a
agree.
lot of, okay. So I think that's where sometimes the disconnect comes, and that's where these panels come in, because you got a lot of young ladies walking through the earth thinking, I meet him, he loves me, he cares about me. He should now be developed enough to know how to block out all this noise and center me. It's fair, but I think that really requires time invested, and usually a lot of time. That's just my opinion, and I'll let.
Well,
Also
so
communication.
A lot of expectations. I think that we place a lot of expectations on each other, you know, especially as women. We like, man has to have this, he needs to be this. When I'm sad, he needs to pick me up at this moment, at this current time. If it's not at the time when I need it done, then he's wrong. Like if he's not doing what I want him to do, that's just my take now a little bit. But I think that we just go in it with all these expectations, and as we're learning and we're growing each other, I don't think nobody goes in like with a clear, open head, open heart, open everything. We just come in and at each other like, and we have so many expectations, and that's how we fail ourselves, men and women.
you know, I'm torn on this topic because I remember before I told somebody, I told a guy that I was on a panel with. He said his, you know how women act when they come out in an outfit that you don't like, and if you tell them to take it off, they're gonna have an attitude, right? Or they're gonna be mad at you. And I told him, no, she's not allowed to be mad at me. And he said, you can't tell somebody how to feel. I said, yes, you can, right? So I'm kind of torn on the idea that I do believe that men are leaders, and I believe that you can absolutely tell your woman, teach her, and influence her on. If listen, in this relationship, if I think that an outfit is inappropriate, or let's say it makes me feel uncomfortable, and I want you to take it off, don't get mad at me, right? That's not going to happen in our relationship. Like you're not going to be going to sleep mad because I told you to take an outfit off. I think that we as men are teachers, and we the closest thing to a father that's not a father when you're in a relationship or a marriage. It is what it is, right? And I can qualify that for you later, pretty. But it's your job to teach. It's your job to impart wisdom on your woman. It's going to be situations where they like emotionally they're making decisions that just aren't sound, or they're behaving in a certain way. And I know me as a man, that's where I step in. That's where I ground you at. So, but I agree with you too, though.
Pretty intellectual. You had. You can go ahead, Jay. But then go ahead, Jay. Go ahead.
So I think I think we look at it as like men are this way, women are this way. And I think that it's not. So you're saying men are teachers, they're supposed to ground, but that comes with a level of maturity, a level of being grounded yourself and being aware and have done the work. What works for you, your name is what, Mont? Okay. So say you may, your hard no is like, listen, I'm not okay with you walking out the house in that particular outfit, right? Maybe the next man is like, no, baby, I want you to walk out in the outfit all day long. So it's not the same. And so say if I'm in this particular, say I'm in a relationship with you, Mont, right? And maybe you're like, I'm worried about what I'm wearing. I can't do this. I can't talk to this person, right? But then I'm in the next relationship and he is completely different. I'm going to carry that because I've been accustomed to your style. So I think that sometimes it's not just so much survival mode. It's like, I'm in this, it's environmental. I've been in this position. Now I got to like relearn, retrain, learn a new way of being with this person. And I think sometimes that can come off wrong.
You drop your bags at the door. That's all.
Can I
easier said than done?
Can I tie something Trev said earlier to what Mont just weirdly said just now? So Trev said earlier, if a man is providing everything for you, what is the difference between how he treats you and how he would treat a child? Right? Remember when he asked that question? because he made the correlation that if a man financially provides, this thus means that you are a child and not a woman in a patriarchal society, right? He made
That's
that
a hell of a paraphrase, but carry on.
One second. Then Mont just hop, skipped, and jumped into the conversation and said, I want to be your dad.
No, stop sounding like that.
Like, so what I want to say is, number one, y'all are weird. Number two, like
who's weird?
No, Trev, let her talk. We gonna get her.
Go ahead.
We gonna spank her. Go ahead.
You gotta let her cook. You gotta let her cook.
Go ahead. I just wanted to make sure I knew I was
hold
weird
on.
or
Let
not.
me just real quick kind of make this clear. Don't say that shit to me.
We gonna spank her.
Don't say that shit to me.
We gonna spank her.
Disrespectful.
Don't say that shit.
I disagree.
Don't say that shit to me.
You don't tell me what to say.
Don't say that shit to me.
We gonna spank her.
Don't say that.
All right, we're gonna move. Move on. Let's just move on from that point.
I think
the same way that you get spanked,
that was inappropriate.
The same way you bend over for these men every single day, the same way you get pegged by them every single night. Don't try me.
I'm not offended by it.
Because here's the problem. Here's the thing. I said you were weird. You decided to get sexually inappropriate. We're not going to do that. Because we are two grown people. I'm not a child. You are a child. I'm pretty sure you're still on your parents' health insurance. Don't step to me. Stay in your motherfucking place when you talk to me next time. Anyway, so back to what I was
saying. $1,300 a month for health insurance.
Back to what I was saying. Now that the child is quiet, put your binky in, bitch. So anyway, back to what I was saying.
Yeah, that was a lot. Both of y'all.
Yeah.
No, don't both of y'all, because I told him not to say that, and he said it
offended.
4 times. Okay,
we gonna spank her. That's 5.
He said it 3 or 4 times.
I said it 5 times.
Come on, man. And here's the thing: you might want to trigger people. You might want to trigger people, but getting disrespectful only plays bad on you when your profile picture is of you and your fiance. So you're online telling another woman you're gonna spank her when you have a fiance as your profile picture. How embarrassing is that for her? That you want to imagine spanking another grown woman when you have a fiance as your profile picture that you spend all this time talking about. This is how I know that half of the women who are engaged to y'all,
we got timers.
Married to y'all, divorced y'all twice. This is how I know that all of these women are desperate with low self-esteem, because there is no way that my husband would be on a panel talking about spanking a grown woman.
I think it was a metaphor.
I'm sorry?
There we go. We got an intellectual here. That's an intellectual.
As a woman, we are not going to justify these men's disrespect. We are not going to justify these men's disrespect.
I didn't take it disrespect.
I don't care how you took it, because you're not
I'm
the
just
one he
saying.
said it to.
Look at that nuance.
You're not the one he said it to, my love. You don't get to tell me what
I didn't say it to you.
So you can go ahead and mute up and let me finish talking to him.
I said it to Trev.
I don't understand why there always needs to be a woman jumping in front of a man when that man is getting checked. I don't understand why y'all always feel the need to do that. Why do you always have to be jump in front of a man when
if you
a
join
man
a panel
is
where
getting
everybody
checked?
has
Explain to me why you always feel the need to jump in front of a man.
I ain't y'all.
You can easily let
Wrap it up, pretty.
Ladies, let's not go at each other.
Hold on, guys.
No, she feels the need to intervene, so now I'm telling her
it was a metaphor.
She said it. No, I did not come on this panel to take y'all's disrespect.
Hold on a second.
That's not how we're doing.
We're going to allow Pretty to finish her thought, but Pretty, please, let's get back on to what we had. We get it. We understand. And
wrap it up, baby.
Apologize for, anyone who felt disrespected. So, but I just want to get back on topic, if we could. I'll let you get a chance to finish your entire statement, though, because I know you were like in the middle and interrupted. So
she might have lost her thought.
Nah, she's good. Let her go. I don't
have dementia. That's your grandma. So
see,
anyway.
look at that. I mean, he said move on.
Wait. Listen. Hold on. Let Pretty finish.
Back to what I was saying.
No ad libs.
Crashing out over him. Look at you crashing out over him. Look
Ma'am,
at you
you
crashing out over him.
I don't
Look at
even
you
know. I
crashing
don't know
out over
nobody
him.
on
Then you
here.
can
Chill
mute
out.
up. Then you can go ahead and mute up because I don't understand.
Lakeisha,
Hold
we're
on, y'all. Hold on,
mature.
y'all. Listen,
Lakeisha, we're
everybody
mature. We
else.
don't have
Hold
to.
on, hold on,
That's
y'all.
why we the way
Wait,
we
I don't
are.
understand why
hold on.
That's the way we
Listen.
are. Listen to that. I mean,
Hold
okay,
on,
he
hold
said
on.
what you said. He said what he
Hey,
said.
is my
What you
mic
tripping
on?
Yeah, Trev, you good.
Like, hold on a second. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna let her go. Please, no ad libs. Please, no interruptions. We're just going to allow her to finish her thought. That's it. And then somebody else is going to go, whatever you want to say. We're not going to allow anybody else to interrupt you either. But carry on, Pretty.
Yeah, there's an obsession between men and this need to compare women to children, right? This need to compare women's mindsets to children. I've heard men say that women do not age mentally past the age of 14. You made the correlation, Trev, that if you're taking care of her financially, then basically she's to be treated like a child. This idiot came on here with whatever he said about children, right? Or about treating her like you're her father. So, what I'm trying to say is all of these talking points lean into the justification of when these men continue to try to go lower and lower in the ages of women they date, because you guys are saying things like, if you're providing for a woman, this means that she's a child. Not understanding that we live in a patriarchy that quite literally set that as the expectation. The only problem is that in correlation with white supremacy and capitalism, y'all can't afford it. So you cannot afford patriarchy. So now you need your women to work, but you still somehow feel as though you get to be entitled like the men who succeed at patriarchy. No, you have failed. You are as bony as Mont's ponytail, okay? It's not working. It is absolutely failing. You need to cut it off, right? You need to cut it out, and you need to understand that the Black community is, in my opinion, only going to succeed with egalitarianism. You guys have already failed at patriarchy, okay? So I need you to stop comparing your women to children, because you can't even parent right. Hence the fact that the majority of Black children are being raised by women.
Okay. All right, we got it. Lakeisha, did you have I thought you wanted to get
Trev,
across,
I don't get a chance to respond. I don't get a chance to.
You do. Look, I'm gonna let Lakeisha go. Then you next.
Ladies first.
You right after.
Oh no.
Yeah, you said ladies first, but I'm going by your precedent. Are you good, Lakeisha?
Yeah, for now. This is like.
All right. She yields to you, Mont.
Yeah. So this is why I love being.
Please wait before we go, Mont. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna like eliminate no homonyms, no like
Trev,
we're gonna try to stay on
Trev,
topic.
you know I don't
please.
get into that. I'm mature.
I bet.
You know that. Come on.
You got it. My bad. You got it.
Yeah. You know, me as an actual intellectual, you know, I like to inquire about things. I ask a lot of questions, right? So we're pretty automatically, I'm calling her Pretty because that's her name, where she automatically, you know, took offense to what I said. I was saying spanking the way that you would say, oh, I just spanked the sports team. You know, we just spanked the Cowboys. But for whatever reason, she chose to make it about sex, which that's what she get into. But however, I think an intellectual as myself, I would have inquired. I said, excuse me, what do you mean by that? Right? Because that's just how I get down. I'm mature though. So that's to that point. But now I like to qualify my other statement. So it's my belief that when it comes to men and women, especially in a marriage or a long-term relationship, I think that we're very close to mothers and fathers to each other. And you can ask your woman, I don't know about other guys, but I can ask my woman right now. What are the things that I do for you that your father didn't do for you? And they'll pretty much match up 1,000%. I know for me, I won't give my daughter away to a man unless he can fulfill my entire role as a father. Can you take care of her? Can you make sure that she's safe emotionally, you know, physically, mentally? All of these things. Will you, you know, give your life for her? That's when I'll actually be comfortable giving my daughter away to her man, where I don't have to worry about her anymore. But until then, she won't get my blessing for that. Right? That's the way I view relationships. Right now, if if my lady got into a car accident, she wouldn't call her dad. She would call me. If she was stranded somewhere, she wouldn't even think to call her dad because he has his own wife. She would call me. I pay for her health insurance, right? We're not married yet, so she technically can't be on mine, which I pay $1,300 a month, you know. But yeah, she I am of course I say like a father to give you a reference point of how close we are, but obviously I'm not her dad, right? Obviously. But yeah, I think men and women, once you get a wife or a husband, you're pretty much becoming very, very close to a father or a mother, besides the romantic aspect. And if that doesn't make sense to somebody, maybe it's an ego thing. But I think it's, plainly put, I think it makes sense.
Willie B, I hear nothing from you yet, man. I know you got something on this. Or no? BK, go ahead.
We always got something.
Oh, wait, Willie's back. Willie, did you want to say something?
You should.
Mm-hmm. I like to hear Willie talk.
Willie B, can you hear me? All right, you're on mute. All right, so BK, go ahead until he get. We're gonna give him a few to get together.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Okay.
All right, my bad. Yeah, I'm still figuring this roadcaster shit out. Yes, women don't want to work. Dudes don't want to work, but the dudes who do work at some point wish they could provide and take their woman out the workforce. I'm on the record saying that that's the number one flex a man can ever have, is removing his woman from the workforce. So I don't have a argument for anything related to the topic at hand tonight. So
that's it. All right. BK, go ahead.
I think the assumption that most men want that, particularly black men, is an assumption. I do find that it is dependent on how someone is raised. And I've heard plenty of men say, why would I take care of a woman? She's a grown adult. Right. I've heard plenty of people say that when having these conversations. So I think some people don't look at it as a badge of honor. They look at it as, we're both adults, we're both working. What else we're going to do but work, especially if there's not young children for people to take care of. And so, yeah, I do think that it is something that fewer people think is a badge of honor, being able to retire their spouse, their significant other, than what most people think. And that, yeah, the requirement to work, especially, I do think it changes though, like I said, if there's young children in the house. Now, if there aren't young children in the house, I don't know how many men actually have that mindset. I've heard some say, oh yeah, I want my significant other to stay at home with our children, instead of sending them to daycare with strangers and all of that. But if there's no children, most people, their mindset ain't there, from what I've encountered at least and seen in conversations.
Toya, look like you had your hand raised. I'm gonna
Yeah.
let Toya go. We do have a clip we want to play in a minute too. So
I was just gonna
we'll
say
hear
that
that.
in certain situations where the women have to feel safe enough to be in a position to let him handle everything and take care of all the decisions and stuff like that, you gotta also factor in that's, I don't know if it's a small percentage, but I think it's like 1 in 4, I believe. 1 in 4 women actually fall victim to the hands of abuse at these men that's in power in their relationships. Most of the time, most of these women in these situations are reliant on the men 100% financially, everything. So in a situation like that, how do you compare?
We're gonna go ahead and run a clip. Pretty being that you up with the computer, I'm gonna trust that you can grab those numbers for me, because that was a pretty wild accusation just now. We heard 1 in 4 I don't
I'll
like the
get the
sound of
numbers
that.
for you. Hold 1
Wait,
second.
I'm sorry. What was the stat?
I said
She
I
said
believe
1 in
it's
4.
1 in 4 women have at least fall some kind of victim to domestic violence. So
Oh, yeah. Oh, I can get those numbers. And
yes,
she's not
please.
wrong.
Thank you.
The number is highest.
.org.
The number is highest in same-sex couples.
She
So
got
when it's
it.
2 women,
Go ahead. Roll
that's
your
typically
clip.
when you see the highest amounts of
Yeah,
domestic
less
violence
than
in
1% of the
relationships.
total
Correct.
population. But yeah, sure. Mhm.
All right. So, all right, we're going to run the clip real quick, and then we're going to get back into it.
I got you.
But I'm gonna be honest. We keep it honest on here. I think that's what me and Cinnamon going through right now.
Oh,
I think Cinnamon, she want a job like for no reason. I've been taking care of her since I was 24. She was 19, going on 20. Everything, and that's the type of man I am. But it's something in her that keep on. It's 10 years, 12 years.
You know what it
every
is?
bill, every this, every whole like everything. I take care of everything. That's the type of man I want to be.
You know what it is though?
What?
Not to even cut you off. Is the issue with that is the same way we think. We come from the trenches. So regardless of how successful we is, we still out there pushing hard every day. We still out there doing podcasts. We creating content. We making money doing this. Why? Because I don't ever want to go back to that nigga.
Yeah.
When I was 12 years old and I couldn't buy them Jordans.
Yeah.
12 years old and I couldn't do this. So I want to make sure that regardless of what's going on, I'll be able to take care of me.
Yeah. And I look at it more so like I have a 7-month-old son.
Right.
Like anything, God forbid, anything happens. I need to make sure my son is good. So, like you said, survival mode.
Yeah.
Like that's what I've been. Like, yeah, I'm very appreciative and all that, like what you do, but I want to make sure I have it on my own.
Absolutely. And that's something when you become a mother, I don't know, it's just something that kind of just clicks.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm sure you're doing a great job and have been. But like she said, she got a little baby to care after. So it's like, I want to make sure that things are good and smooth sailing for me and the family. I won't just say sin and the baby, but for
I was
everybody.
gonna say it's my son too. I
Yeah, I know that's why I had to be careful with my words.
No.
But you know, for everybody, it kind of makes you want to be like, dang, I want to be a part of this. I want to put something on the table. She doesn't have to, but she wants to. And I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
There ain't really nothing wrong with it.
Except when you start stepping on our ability to do that for you, because that's our job. Man, we need a mission. So if your ass is super independent, super self-sufficient, then we get the question of what our role is.
So hear me out. We need a mission as well. We don't want to just be doing laundry and cooking spaghetti.
Or just say,
But here's the thing: your ass not just doing laundry and doing that.
That's what I was doing.
Your ass is raising our kid. Your ass is setting the tone for the house. Your ass is supporting me to be able to go out there and do what I need to do. Like your role is pivotal. And I think that women don't understand how pivotal of a role that they can serve without having to go out there and goddamn hunt for food and hunt for goddamn survival. We doing that. So it's like, I need you to be, I don't want to say content, but I need you to feel fulfilled in what it is that you provide. We are equally important in this relationship, but we serve different roles.
so what should the woman bring to the table?
Women should bring support. Women should bring counsel. Women should bring encouragement. Women should bring inspiration. Like when I wake up next to you every day and I get out that bed, you ain't going to work, I am. But I need to roll over and look at you and get inspiration to go out there and conquer the fucking world.
You know what it is, bro? I need the 3 bubbles on my head again. I think, Cinnamon, I think you accidentally crushed my ego. Let me just tell you why. Because I took pride, and I take pride in being able to tell. Like one day we were just sitting down, I said, baby, you ain't worked. You ain't have to pay for a bill or nothing since 2016. Like, and I'm saying it proudly.
Grown man shit.
Like, I'm like, everything. I'm like, you got cars, the houses. Like, I did that. Cinnamon said, why are you throwing it in my face?
Okay.
No, for real. No. But I don't think you know what you listen. Can I talk?
Go ahead.
Let my man finish. He in his bag. Go ahead. He cooking right now. Go ahead, bro.
And when you said that, I had to say, no, I'm not shitting on you, because as a man, I felt good, and that's my purpose. I
There you
felt
go.
like, and I think we start bumping heads a lot because you said it again, like, why you throwing stuff on my face? Like, yeah, I don't know. I just think we bumping heads now because you taking what I did and what I can stand on, and when I can sit in these cameras and say I provided for my fiance the last 12 years. I think we bumping heads right now. I don't think you appreciate that. I think you think I'm shitting on you, and I think you so in a rush to show me you can do something on your own, or you don't need me to do that. I think that's where the job stuff coming in at, and I think that's what's going on right now.
When in reality, all bro doing is providing reassurance. For one, if you couldn't do those things, I wouldn't be with you. Let's just put the shit on the table, right? Because we got kids, we got family, we got businesses, we got all of these things. So if something happened to me, this is how men think, and this is how like a lot of women don't understand.
Okay, so we're gonna start with Lakeisha. We're gonna get to Jay and then True, but I wanted to start with a question for Lakeisha. It appears that women sometimes feel like they lose their validity or purpose when that happens. What's your thoughts?
I think a lot of times when let me make sure I got you correct. When what happens?
When you see how like this situation they were talking about when he was saying that he wanted to he was happy that he was able to make her not have to work, but she still felt the need to work. And he said homes, cars, meaning they were very comfortable. If you have multiple homes, you probably could have comfortable and you don't need to work, but she still felt like she wanted to work. He also mentioned that she's doing it for no reason at this point. So I wonder, why do you think that is?
I think women still want to have their own identity outside of that man, their men, right? That's why she wants to work. I think that a lot of times, okay, let's say him, for example, I'm sure he can obviously, because he don't want her to work, because he's saying, me, I got this, you know. But Willie also made a good point too, that he said that he thought it was a great idea for his woman, a man's goal. I don't know his exact words, but being able to provide for her. But I think women just want their own identities outside of their man. Like, we have identities before we came together. Whether we were business owners, whether we are, whatever we are prior to us getting together and building a relationship, I think women want to still be able to keep that. And I think a lot of times women may lose that solely focusing on a man's career or just focusing on what he wants to do as opposed to what the woman wants to do. So she loses her identity, or could lose her identity because of it. But yeah.
So Jay, do you think that motherhood / homemaker is enough?
I think to Lakeisha's point, yeah, people do lose their identity in the roles that they play. And I think that's either men or women. You know, I have 5 daughters. I raised my daughters. I stayed a portion at home, you know, caring for them. And then it's easy if you're in the household to get lost in all the roles that you play. And then you forget sometimes to focus on yourself, right? But I think that the same thing, men go through the same thing. They are the provider. They have to, or I'll say so-called, right, these roles. They're a provider. They're supposed to make sure they take care of the home. And we're talking about, you know, marriage or family dynamics. And then it's easy for people to lose their identity in what they actually have to do. But I think that a lot of times we talk about everybody wants like a person that is going to be there to support them, to see them where they are, to love them, to nurture them, right? Men or women. We all have, sometimes a man may take a lead in an area, and sometimes a woman may take the lead as necessary. And I think that we're looking for this person, but that person has to be healed and whole, right? Or healing. We can't, we expect this provider from a man who isn't capable, because maybe their mindset isn't that. we have different characteristics. Some people want to stay home and care for their children and be home in that dynamic, and some women don't want to be home. So I feel like we make it seem like there's like an A and B, and there's not just an A and B box.
Good enough.
If anybody else wants to.
True, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that some of these conversations develop because, as you can tell, we have a lot of different perspectives, right? And what stood out to me the most was what Lakeisha said about the loss of identity, which I typically, not to pick on you at all, it's just something you stated. I hear that a lot from women. And I think that that's sometimes a disparity that we're having. I personally don't understand what that means. I've only ever been a man, and then developing a relationship, I was never concerned about my loss of identity in the development of the relationship. What it sounds like to me a lot of times is that what Trill even said in the video, women operate a lot in fear. So for whatever reason, and this is my opinion, there's something going on to where young ladies are not instructed that they're kind of like individual entities that are to be acquired. The whole point of a relationship from a man to a woman is acquisition. That's the whole point. So what you have is supposed to be acquired. That's how it's looked at least in the mind of most men, right? And I think sometimes that's where we're having this clash occur, because lives are being developed, babies are being born that aren't mine, connections are being made that I had nothing to do with. And now you have all this life, great, but then I'm still looking to acquire you. How do we do that successfully? Lots of conversations, lots of healing, like Jay has been saying, but I think that people romanticize this and don't really have the tools to do it effectively, because again, I personally don't know any men that is trying to change a woman's identity. I think we embrace who you guys are when we meet you. Now learning how to develop and maximize your skills, talents, whatever it may be, care for you, love for you, look out for you in this relationship is what we're looking to do. And there seems to be this like reluctance of, well, don't try to change my identity. The reality is, if you've lived long enough as an adult, 25, 30 years plus, every development in life is going to require a change. So if you went from some point in a company to maybe running a department, if you went from entry level to, C-suite, internship to whatever, the idea of you not changing is blasphemous. You're going to change. And if you're not willing to do that, then just let that young man know up front, look, I'm cool to rock alongside you, but I'm not trying to change. I'm cool with what I got going on. If you cool with it, we can move forward. And I don't think that that's an honest approach to most relationships, which is why we have a lot of discourse. And I'll land.
Troy, I wanted to add on top of that. Because I think I have a unique perspective being able to like study my woman over the years, through a long relationship. And part of that comes with the wisdom part, where we kind of teach, where you said, every level in life, it requires a change, right? I understand how women feel like they might lose their identity being in a relationship. My woman was very educated, athlete, professional athlete, everything, full ride to college, all that type of stuff, right? So throughout our relationship, even early on, it got to a point where it's like you're meeting a man who says that I want to be responsible for you. Like, I want to make sure, I want to be the reason that you are okay. I want to make sure that you don't have anything to worry about for the rest of your life, right? And when you come from somebody being a person who's always been about achievement, right? That's tough to deal with, because I think a part of a lot of women, they want to live that soft life, but another part of them is like they always dreamed of being that boss girl, right? Of kind of getting it themselves. So it's kind of like a conundrum that they kind of deal with. And it does take time. It took a long time for her to become like, yo, I just want you to take care of me, right? To her to accept that, and like kind of like, because they do have that thing of like, is he really going to take care of me? Is this really going to happen? But I do understand the side of women still need something to achieve, right? You can't just have a housewife, or you can, but I think most women, even if they are in a house, being a homemaker and stuff like that, they still need something to achieve, something to reach to, so it's still good for them to have a business of some sort, or, you know, to do something, and definitely always get out the house. You know, these things are still important to them because they are more ambitious than we think. So I think that's something that you should definitely keep in mind and incorporate. And I do understand how women feel like they may lose their identity, especially like most humans like are so attached to identity. Like me being from Philly, right? I'm a little bit different than most people because they're so attached to the identity of being from Philly. Like, or like certain people from Baltimore, they're attached to that. Like, oh, I'm from Baltimore. Everything is Baltimore. Everything's like, I'm a little bit different when it comes to that. Like, I'm not like, the other part about identity is like how many people who are Eagles fans who don't really like football, right? And it's like after I learned that, like I love football. I know what's going on in every aspect of the NFL. I'm watching everything. I know what trade just happened. I know you ask an Eagles fan who a diehard Eagles fan, they may not know what's going on all over the NFL. They just like being a part of a something. They want to party. They want to say go Eagles and all that type of stuff, right? Because they just like the identity part. People need an identity. So I get it.
Go ahead, Lakeisha.
Hey, hold on. We got a line in the goddamn back chat, Trev. What are you doing? Like you came
There's
into
a
the
line.
ladies' hard
I'm
tonight.
not reading the back check. What happened?
No, go ahead, Lakeisha. I'll go after you, man. It's fine. It's fair. Go ahead.
Oh, now you want to talk? Go ahead.
So when I was saying like women sometimes may lose their identities, I'm not blaming men. I'm saying sometimes women spend years being everything for everybody, the nurturer, the supporter, the fixer, the strong one. And I think sometimes along the line, and I'm not necessarily saying myself, I'm just speaking in general. Somewhere along the line, she stops being who she was prior to meeting that person. Like Mont said, his fiance used to be an athlete. She used to be, and I don't know if he's saying, but after he met her or after they got together, it might have changed. But she used to be. So now she's taking on a different role. I'm assuming now that her and Mont are, engaged to be married. That's not necessarily, I'm not trying to blame it. I'm just saying, so a woman slows down or enters a relationship and she could be still trying to figure herself out or whatever that may looks like. It could be still inconsistency, emotional distance, but really, I think sometimes it takes a while to rediscover yourself. It could be your 30s, your 40s. We're always rediscovering ourselves over and over and over again. And so I just think that sometimes we should have our identities. God gave it our natural born identities, but we over time. I'm not the same from my 20s, my 30s, and 40s, and I'm about to be close to 50. So I've evolved a little bit.
Go ahead, Willie.
We're in a fortunate position where every man on this panel is capable of providing for 100% of his woman's bills and needs. And there's not very many times where, the ratio will be 100%, even in small numbers. So there's a point in which I wonder when, though the fact that we've done it, are doing it, can do it, when does that outweigh that of the opinion of those who've never experienced it, never seen it, or likely won't? Because everyone has an opinion that, oh, okay, well, you lose your identity when you're not working or when you have somebody providing for you. And the only identity that you lose is the one where you're independent. You get to create a new interdependent identity in the relationship with your partner, with your man who is supporting and providing for you the same way a father does his child. So for the child piece to be such a sticking point for folks, it's almost indicates that that's just the part that you want to argue with because there's no more logic that you could refute from the other side. If you ask a man who's paying 100% of your bills, or your man, your dream man, what is it about your father that you loved about your father? Like for those of y'all that had him, like what did you loved about your father that you also don't love about your man? And there should only be one thing, because your father relationship wasn't sexual. Everything else that your father did for you, protect you, provide, all that, counsel, all of those things, you guys should be expecting your men to do the exact same thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but what do you want? What did your father do for you that you don't expect your man to do for you? But because you seem like you had a point.
Yeah. I don't know why we keep trying to compare women to children when even in the Bible it's clear that there's a heresy, right? There is an order to things, and children are underneath women as they're the parents, right? So that's one thing. As far as parental versus relational relationships, your significant other should be far beyond what your parents have ever been to you. And I think your parents are a starting, and you should be moving up toward what your father and your mother had if they had something healthy and, aspirational. If it was dysfunctional, please scrap it, get therapy, do whatever you got to do. But as far as that, you lie to your parents. We all done snuck out, done did some really stinky things. Now, if I lie to my man and I do the same thing, it's going to be issues, right? There's just a lot of things, right? That the relationship doesn't equate, in my personal opinion, and what I've seen throughout the millennium. But one thing that the video said that we haven't really touched on is he named a couple of things. He said he wants his woman, for support, counsel, encouragement, inspiration. And then when it got to Cinnamon and the other person, he noted, that he could do all these things for her, and she doesn't seem to appreciate it. Now, one of the things is that I found for women who don't want to solely rely on a man's income, that appreciation aspect of it is it, because there's too many people who get prideful and say, you wasn't with me shooting in the gym, but the woman was home making sure that your children were taken care of, that, she was paying the bills and playing secretary, doing all these things that allowed you not to spend your money on a resource that would do that, right? Because we all know child care costs are highly expensive. If you can't afford a personal chef and she's cooking all your meals, that's an expense. If she's doing your laundry, that's another expense that people can't afford. All these things, playing secretary, another expense that people can't afford, right? I think it's the appreciation part, and the women who I see whose men do everything and who are satisfied with that, there is a level of appreciation that goes both ways. He appreciates her for the roles and the things that she's doing that he does not have to pay for, and that she's doing out of the kindness of her heart, out of love. And she appreciates the hard work that he's putting in to provide financially for their family and to move them forward. And he does not separate his successes from her. He always acknowledges that his success is because of her, because she's at home and she can manage those things. I work around world-renowned surgeons, right? And one thing they always say, if their wives are stay at home, I can't be who I am without her, because when I have to be in surgery for 15 hours in an emergency situation, or I'm on call or whatever, my wife is the one making sure our children are okay, right? And she's the one making sure that certain things are. So I think that appreciation and that acknowledgement, that has to flow both ways. And when it doesn't flow both ways, I think that's when you're going to see the man be upset and the woman be upset. But I think that's a piece that men, if they're in a solely provider situation, that they're not acknowledging, is that appreciation has to flow both ways.
So the men that you mentioned wouldn't be the ones talking about she wasn't with me shooting in the gym. So that I understand.
Some of them.
If to your logic and if to your point, you said these world-renowned surgeons, and then you mentioned some of these guys say that. Those aren't the guys that do things like that. I don't believe that Hitman is doing that on the panel. But what he explained was, I do all of this for you. And what women don't understand about men is that we use words for their definition. And we understand that once you guys say something and then you say, but everything before it is null and void. So I appreciate that, but I still want to have my own. If he's one of the ones that does what you said he does and says, hey, you weren't with me shooting in the gym, then everything you just said makes sense. But we're speaking for the guys. We don't know that to be true, one. And then two, even in your example, you're around men who aren't like that. So, and I do concede that if a woman is at home taking care of the kids so a man can go be great, she's with him while he's shooting in the gym, unless he was great before he got with her. If he was average and then became great and she was there the entire time, there's no argument to be had. I will defend women on that hill to the day I die. However, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a woman who wants to be independent in her relationship, although being completely dependent on her man for her survival. So she wants to be dependent. She didn't say, hey, you know what? I would rather go find my own, make my own money, and then contribute to the household. She says she wants to actually have it to where she's saying, hey, I want you to keep doing all of these things, but I also want to go be independent and have it on my own. Because one thing that we should all be able to admit, honestly, is that when a man has money, he tends to want to, that money is spent to more say for his family. Like if he's already married, not single men. But when women make more money, their money doesn't necessarily flow back into the home directly, because his money is your money and your money is your money. That mindset. So when we talk about this, we can't just say, okay, well, this is what we think happened. We can only take it for what he said. And for what he said after watching the entire clip, she literally broke his ego because she took him pointing out what he provides for her as her shitting on him, because she's not something that doesn't make her happy. She wants to be independent. But what he asked her, I don't know if we're going to show the entire clip. Okay. Listening and looking in the comments to say, well, hey, if he stopped paying bills, would you want to go 50-50 with him? Crickets.
All right, Pretty. I know you had something. You had your hand raised. Go
ahead. So I am coming to confirm the statistic that Toya did present to us. 1 in 3 actually women experience severe intimate partner violence. 1 in 4 experience some form of intimate partner violence. So it's actually worse if you consider severe intimate partner violence. And that would include, I'm sorry. And this is,
I was just going to ask if that includes woman on woman.
Says 1 in 3 women, and it has men, 1 in 4 men. So this would include women on women, but I want to make it very, very clear that LGBTQ relationships are 1% of the total.
You said 1%?
1, yeah. So when we're talking, I mean, it's like, when they say 99% chance you won't get pregnant wearing this condom, it's the other 1%. Because like it's kind of like that. So like unless y'all want to talk about that, it's like 99% chance.
No, we can forget that part. I mean, because
so I'm just throwing out that that's how
we appreciate that.
Yeah.
Did you have something on this?
I did. You asked me to present this, so I'm presenting that. And
no, we ain't mad at you. Go ahead.
When it comes to the part in the video that I watched, the part that stuck out to me was the kind of the disconnect between what she considered to be throwing it back in her face and what he considered to be her, killing his ego, right? And honestly, I did not see either one on either side. I saw 2 people really proud of what they can do and offer in their own like sovereign lives, kind of having challenges merging that together. I didn't see anybody who genuinely wanted to harm the other person. I saw that there was this guy who's like, I got it out of the mud. Oh, that means that whoever I'm with is going to be super happy for me. So I'm going to be able to talk about this all the time. And she's going to be like, that's my man, my baby, my man. And this was a woman who's like, I'm really, really happy with my capabilities. And I think I can offer something, not just being the stay-at-home whatever. And there's an issue with them merging there. So for me, like, I actually thought they were both off. As I was listening to it, I thought that it was actually very silly for them to be having a conversation about their relationship with 2 other random people who did not have successful relationships, but somehow we're on the internet and that's what we're doing. So I think that like when I listen to them, it is important that the person in the power position, which is the man who makes the money, right, to understand the vulnerability that presents to another person who is used to making money on their own. And I do think that there's an importance there. Similarly to how, since we like to compare women to children, similarly to how when you have a 13, 14, 15-year-old, you kind of give them their own financial independence by saying, hey, work on your allowance, this. Everyone wants autonomy. Literally from the age of a child is 0 through 4, they want to do it themselves. Kids will literally fight you. They want to do things themselves. Everybody wants autonomy. Everyone wants to feel accomplished. So I do think if you're a person who has good intentions and you are the financial provider in a capitalistic society, understand that there's a power imbalance there and you need to be cognizant of that so that you make that other person still feel like an autonomous, sovereign human being.
Okay, Toya, question for you. What do you think that a man can do to make a woman feel like she has her own sovereignty?
Support her aspirations. Long story short, she wants a job, right? That's what the clip said. She wanted a job. Let her have a job. What's the big deal? Let it be something that she wants to do. If that'll
So,
make her happy, why not?
so this is where,
What's the harm in that?
so there is no actual harm. However, when a man is in the position where he can provide 100% for his woman, we don't want our women having a boss, having another person, another man lording over them. So, she goes to work now, she gives him her
Granted,
best.
granted, but he
So
said,
because of
how
that,
can
that's
he have
that's
her
that would be the
feel like
harm.
she has some kind of autonomy? It's not about what her man is feeling. It's about how she's feeling. Is that not
No, it's still both,
what
but then he
we
would
were
have to
trying to
choose between the two. Whether is it okay? Would he have to? Is he willing to accept his woman answering to another man now and continuing that relationship dynamic with her,
What if
or
it's another woman? What if her
that's
boss
even
is a
worse?
woman?
'Cause, I mean, we understand how that goes typically in the workplace, but
Wait.
so that would be
Can I
even worse.
can I
But
just
What?
make a
I
statement?
see your point.
So
I get your point.
remember, right? We live in a society. We're supposed to love people the way they want to be loved, not love the way you want a person to be loved. So if she's saying like, listen, this is what's going to make me happy. I don't want to just be a mother and a wife. I want to be able to give back to society in some capacity. So I may want to work in sales because I love this, right? This makes me feel whole. You can't ignore that. Even though he is capable of providing 100% to her, I think we think that every woman just wants to be fully provided for. I will say this. I've been in two relationships, long relationships in a marriage. One that I was the breadwinner and the other one where my man provided majority of things, but I still contributed. And I think that so I kind of I felt both. I think people want somebody who's supportive and providing, but it doesn't mean that I just want to sit home and accept it. We know that there are people who want that, right? They want to go shopping and do all that other stuff. We understand that, but that's not what she's saying.
I think. Go ahead, Lakeisha. Go ahead, Lakeisha.
Hold on, Lakeisha.
I think that your question was, you said, how does a man allow women to still have sovereignty? And I think that by understanding that love isn't ownership, it's partnership. Sovereignty means she still has her voice. She still has her identity, that y'all don't like the word, her friendships, her purpose, her personal growth, even while being in a relationship. And I think that, I'm not saying nobody on this panel, anybody in the comment, a healthy man, I don't think, shrinks a woman's world to keep her close. I feel like he feels secure enough to let her expand, knowing connection comes from choice, not control, meaning, still be able to exist without controlling her. So I just think love isn't ownership, because the way sometimes it comes off as if it's like the man owning because
Can
he
I
pays
ask?
the bills.
Can I ask the ladies a question? And whomever want to reply, feel free. Do you guys think that life consists of trade-offs, exchange, generally speaking?
I do.
That's all life is at the end of the day.
Okay. I don't know if it was caught in my commentary some moments back, but I had said that a lot of times I think when it comes to the relationship aspect from a male's perspective, we're looking at acquisition. So I like to use business terms because generally it takes emotions out of these things. Typically, when you get hired somewhere, sometimes in the spelling of that contract, you are being acquired. I need your talent, your skill set, your time, your energy, right? You sign it, we agree on terms, and you're good with it. Sometimes in that language, it also specifies, I don't preferably want you going outside of what I need you for to explore other things. And maybe because we don't sit down and it's not romantic to sit a woman down and be like, you fine, you gorgeous, I want to rock with you, sign on the dotted line. We do it from a place of, emotional exchange or verbal exchange or whatever, right? Whatever we're presenting. And I think that's again where the disconnect is for most men. We're talking about the men who can absorb you, acquire you, everything that comes with you, good, bad, indifferent, financial resources, all of the above. And what he said in the video was he was offended because she feels it necessary. She feels it necessary to acquire a job when her life is maintained, not for a year, not for 5 years, for a decade plus. So I understand where in his mind, well, what's the purpose of the job? And then all the ladies on here have pretty much communicated that there's more that you need. Like, you good with the deal because you ain't left, but now I need to go get something else to feed something that somehow, some way I'm not getting in this relationship. And maybe we can go from that point to see why that is a disconnect. Like,
But
what would it take? Go ahead.
Why does she have to be not getting something because she wants her own independence? Like, why does she like why you say it's not? I don't think nobody on this panel is saying that she's not getting something. I just think that, you know, and I'm speaking women in general, we all had something before we came. We all were different people before we came. And so when we merged together, I think that sometimes in our own selfishness, you know what I mean? You expect one thing, Trey, I expect one thing. And like you said, we can't seem to get those things together because we thinking different things. But I think when we figure out how to walk together instead of two people walking separately, I think that's where we might.
And I agree with the walking together thing. We're just walking it out. We're just talking through it, right? Well, I appreciate your perspective. I think that, again, this is me speaking from the male's perspective. I'm not saying we're right. I'm saying from the male's perspective in a general sense. We're logical, as we, for the most part, agree, right? Certain times, we're in our minds, if we have created an environment where you can thrive and we can thrive, and you're telling me that you're good with this because you're still here, and then you now have to go get busy to do something with the action of taking the effort and the whatever, in our head, it doesn't make sense. I created the
environment. Conversation need to be
you
had
back to the in your head though.
But
were we talking about what was in your head, or were we talking about what's in her head?
Well, great question.
No,
question.
that was the question though, because it was, what can he do to make her feel like she's autonomous and she has some kind of sovereignty? That's what it was, right? So essentially, it would have to be up to her. No.
I think, and that's thank you. Great question. No, it's not solely up to her. And I think that's where the disconnect is.
And that's where the disconnect is. And that's why they're having problems in their relationship.
But it's a partnership. It's a partnership. So that's a conversation. I think what Lakeisha was saying is communication is key. These are conversations we need to have before we even get to this place. What this looks like, what our relationship, how it's going to look. Do you want to work after you have children? Is it a business venture? You know, I would say, and I'm going to speak off of me, when I think a lot of women agree, like, you know, I wouldn't want to go get a job just because, like, go work at Macy's or whatever, just so I can get a job and be out of the house and have my autonomy. No, I would, if my husband or my partner is providing everything for our household, I'm going to look, you know what, babe, how can we build onto this? What can I do? Are we starting a business? You know, do I want to own a clothing store or something? That's something that is a passion for me. I think that people just get lost in their roles, that they forget to do the things that fulfill them. And I think that's really honestly what she's talking about. And I agree with
what I'll pass it to you in a moment. Yeah. I agree with what you're saying, Jay. You know, thanks for that, exploration and that delivery. When I said my mind, Toya, again, generally speaking from the male's perspective. And this is, again, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying the men are right. This is the disconnect. See, women don't acquire men. You guys don't. The relationship exchange is acquisition on our end. That's the problem. Until you're in a position of where you acquire, it's kind of like a mother to her children. And I know I'm just using it as an example, so don't get triggered, please. Your child is your child. You've produced it, you've maintained it with the man, however, but you have a certain oversight for that life. That's how men look at women. you're required. So because you're required, going back to the employee aspect and looking at it, it would be foul for you to get acquired and then go get something without passing it past your boss or having a conversation. So like you said, Jay, I think that's again the disconnect.
Maybe he should have had that conversation with her before he started providing all these things for her, because obviously it seems like to me that's maybe she's not the type of woman that wants to be sitting in the house just raising the kids. That's not the type of woman he acquired. So now he got to figure out what to do with her.
You know.
Wait, so one of the things though that True's saying that I'm gonna kick this to you actually. So, is fulfillment, right? Now, if we want to use the employee acquisition thing, if you have an employee who comes to you, I don't know if anyone's a boss here, but I've had employees come to me. Hey, I can take on more, right? This job ain't cutting it for me no more. So either I go get a new job or you promote me or do something because I'm stifled here. I've stopped growing. The real problem that too many women have is stagnation. And we as people were never meant to stagnate. Nothing around us is stagnant. Stagnant water is toxic. You're not meant to just stay, right? You have to grow, you have to change, you have to evolve, you have to move. So if your woman is saying, hey, I need something else for stimulation, because we all know it's use it or lose it, right? You got to keep moving your mind. The kids are now in school full time. You're only going to PTA meetings once every month or whatever, right? I need something else. If you are the sole provider and this person is coming to you, let's say you're the boss of this, whatever empire, then that's when you start looking for solutions. Now, I'll say a little bit of your business is a business owner, right? So he's in a position where he can, if his girl comes to him saying like, hey, I need to do something more. These kids is going at 8:30 and 8 o'clock in the morning. They on a bus. I have nothing to do till 2:30 or 3 o'clock when they come home. What can I do? He's in a position to say, oh, you know what? Can you fill this role at my company? I can have you do, but again, entrepreneurs are a minority, right? And so it's like, if you are a man who has a 9 to 5 and you're out 9 to 5 and you can't offer your woman a job because you're not an entrepreneur, then you're just going to leave her stagnant at home and she's going to be a dissatisfied employee and it's going to show.
He also has.
Hold on. We got to get Miss Pearl in there and then Mont. I know he had something too. So go ahead, Miss Pearl.
Kool-Aid.
You're on mute, Miss Pearl. There you go.
I know. I just feel like my internet is going to be jumping, and y'all. Anyway, I'm gonna just go. If it happened, it happened.
We can hear you.
So a lot was said, of course, but I still stand on what I said before. I feel like relationships can be easy. We make them complicated. I think it goes back to what we were initially saying. People say they want something, but they're not really capacitated to handle it. And they're not really able to allow that fear to be pushed to the side to endure the relationship. Like, I think that this is what we're saying, but we're not saying. Like, a lot of us just don't want to give up their independence because that fear that man is going to leave you. I've spoken on that before. I don't have no problem saying it. That's a natural fear. So I think subconsciously or maybe consciously, we continue to say, oh, my identity. No, if you're in a relationship, your identity is being that woman to that man or that wife. I don't know why we keep playing this game, but I get it. Like, you work, it's a part of your life, it's who you are. And to give all of that up to somebody else, and then there's a possibility that it don't work out. But again, the other side of that coin is that's what you signed up for. So you either want it or you don't want it. Because if you want it, then you're going to see it through to the end, regardless of what happens. That's why you take those vows, for better or worse. So you're always going to know it's not going to be your day every day. But I think it's about the way we're going about it in these relationships. It may just honestly be the wrong way because you're going against the grain. Just saying, right? And that could be on both sides. And I think we said it already. You have to be able to have those brave and honest conversations. And after the conversations, you need to walk it like you talk it like you walk it. So it could be subjective, but at the end of the day, like I said, if you want a relationship, you got to work for it and you got to be something worth having. I'll land.
You know,
hold on, Mom. We're gonna let you go, but I just gotta let the mob know y'all being real disrespectful with the likes. Please do drop the like button. We appreciate and love you for it. It's way more cats in here than it is likes in here. So, yeah, please put some respect on our name, man. We trying to do what it do for y'all. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, I'll give my perspective. The sovereignty word is funny because I looked up the exact definition, and it says something about like supreme decision making over, you know, what you're going to do with yourself or whatever, life and all that. And I think everybody has sovereignty. You can't take that away. The problem is submission is about voluntary, you know, submission is voluntary. I can't make you do anything. I can't make you be in a relationship with me. I can't make you follow my rules. You have to choose every day to do that. That's sovereignty, right? So as far as the word sovereign, I think they already got that. But as far as when that point that Toya made of, you know, just let her get a job, right? I think this is where another point where I know, at least for me, me studying women, a lot of women have ideas and a lot of women have dreams, and I get it. And I think as a man, it's a part of what you're supposed to do is help them mine that out, right? Just because you have an idea that I want to get a job doesn't mean that like, oh, this is the best thing, right? The same way Gabrielle Union, when she got into her relationship, Dwayne Wade paid all the bills. Halfway through it, she said, no, I need to pay my own bills. I need 50% of this because that's the best decision. And then years later, she's crying like, oh, that was the wrong decision. I don't want to pay my own bills. I don't want to pay my 50%, right? Because it's like, yo, you thought that you had the solution to what you wanted, right? And I think that's the wisdom part, right? I know, at least for me, like I work through all of that with my woman all the time. We work through those type of things and we talk about it. So, and I understand how ambitious she is. So we looking into things right now. And she's privileged to. I'm the type of person like I operate like on a whim when it comes to business ideas, right? If we can come up with how we can add value to any business or any field, then we can just do it like that, right? So like that's the good part about, you know, her being with me is that we can do that. Whenever we got an idea, we move on it as long as it's a good idea. So I do agree that women need an outlet because they're human. We can't like what Becky said, we can't be stagnant. And a lot of men do maybe not get that part. They think, oh, your bills are paid, you taken care of, you good. What you got to worry about? But people in general, well, not all people, but a lot of people want more. They want to do something. They want to achieve something. Whether it's be a part of a nonprofit like Barb Barrett said, you know, that could be something that she want to do. I know my girl want to do that because her brother's special needs. So that's one of the things that she wants to do in life is, you know, have a nonprofit where she can help people like that. So, yeah.
Can I just add something to what you said though? Because
Hold
the
on.
Gabrielle Union thing.
We had time out. We had a hand up in the back of her quite a bit, so I'm gonna let her go. We're still gonna let you go, but Lakeisha was ready.
Did I say something wrong? Did I get it wrong?
I did have my hand raised.
Pretty first. Yes, Pretty was first.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Pretty. I didn't see this. It's too far up in the chat for me. My bad.
Okay. So I do think that the idea of I'm so sorry. Somebody said somebody's eating the microphone. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so when it comes to the idea of the Gabrielle Union conversation about not paying and sovereignty, right? So if someone decides to submit, the definition of submission is yielding to a higher authority. So there is no single person who has an overall higher authority that people willingly yield to. Typically, submission is not enthusiastically consented to. Submission happens in some form of coercion, some form of force, some form of oppression. That's the reason why people don't like the term submission. And I find it strange that especially Black people are so obsessed with this whole submit ideology, because oftentimes when you guys really explain submission, truly it sounds like cooperation. Like every single time I've asked a man to break down what they mean by submission, it sounds like cooperation. Every single thing, going forward to a shared goal, that is cooperation. Submission would imply that quite literally, If she does not agree, she fundamentally cannot ask you why you're making a decision. She would just have to go along with it. That is the opposite of sovereignty.
You ain't asked the king
So
yet.
to wake up, I did not interrupt you.
Sorry.
I did not interrupt you. We're not doing this.
I apologize.
Yeah, you lost that privilege. Anyways, so back to what I'm saying. When it comes to this whole idea of sovereignty and submission, I think it's really funny because you looked up the word sovereignty and then you used it wrong. Like you looked up the word submission and then you used it wrong.
I
And then
didn't say I
someone
looked that
said
up.
earlier, men go by definitions. No, y'all don't. Y'all have no idea how to use words. Your reading level is on average like 5th grade. Get it together. Like, I don't understand how y'all continue to misuse words over and over and over and over again. That is not what sovereignty is. That is not what submission is. The whole ideology of you're bringing up Gabrielle Union and whoever this guy is. These are celebrities who are out of our tax brackets. These are people who are doing half of what they're doing for show, views, likes, publicity, attention. Then you have the regular people who are on this panel who have to either run a business or go to work. We are not them, they're not us.
Okay, BK, what you got?
So so in that situation, right? I think Gabrielle and Wade are a good example. She actually did 50-50 because he made a statement, I pay the bills in this D house, right? And they were in a disagreement and something like that. And she was like, oh, okay, well then I'll pay the bills in this house too, because if that's the way you want to act. So I think that was a result of a discourse, right? That should have been solved with better communication than just, well, you'll never be able to throw in my face, which was back to the original, right? What we just watched, where he said, I do all this and you don't appreciate it. And it's like, but do you appreciate what someone else is doing for you to be able to do what you're doing, right? Especially over long term. So I think I think a lot of this really comes down to communication, appreciation, and reciprocity in the ways that the other person is seeking it. And unless you are one of those people who can stay humble and really understand that, majority of people, it takes something to get something, right? And so it's like, I think that's where a majority of these issues come from, is that there's not that level of respect between one another and appreciation and love and, understanding toward one another, that it says, hey, is this the best thing for our family, right? Is you working the best thing for our family if one of our kids is underage and we're going to have to pay for daycare, right? Or, okay, all the kids are in school. What's the best thing for you to do that, you could still be there for them, or I could still be there for them, and we still maintain things and can move forward. So I think it definitely has to be a conversation, and it should be best for the family unit and not just for one person or the other. And I think that's what, we can be missing sometimes in life, is that we think about even ego, right? I know somebody who denied a promotion, a man, because he was like, my kids can't take me not being there anymore. As a man, as a father, they're at a critical time, they're teenagers. I'm trying to make sure they don't get into no dumb stuff. I can stay where I'm at for a couple of years because them being successes and being assets later on in life and not liabilities because they done messed up. This money ain't going to cover that. My presence is. And so I just think that in totality, as in the Black community specifically, we can't just look at things from a financial standpoint. We got to look at it as, how's this going to go to family? How's this going to move us forward? And I'll end there.
All right. So we got Lakeisha and we're going to run a clip.
Hold on for a second, True. We said we need 10 seconds. Gabrielle Union is on record for saying that she cheated on the men that she paid half the bills with. So to expect Dwayne Wade to want her to pay half the bills is, and I can't say retarded because I forgot it triggers the retarded people, but it's just, it's stupid to do. If a man who's providing everything says, hey, he's dating a girl who he knows will cheat if she's paying half, if he wants to be with her, he has to pay all the bills. So her deciding that all of a sudden she wants to pay all the bills so she can have a say, if he decided to deal with that, cool. However, she is on record saying that she cheats on men because if she's the breadwinner or she's contributing an equal amount financially, she doesn't respect him enough to be faithful. That's out of her mouth.
Lakeisha, you're about to go. Before you did
Damn,
go,
yo, what are y'all doing?
No, I'm about to say something to her. Before you did go, my comment is directly tied to what Willie's about to say. I just want so I don't know where you're going, but mine is direct. So, but you go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. All right. So I was just about to say,
don't yield again, because then you're gonna be
no,
mad.
no,
At me.
I got it. I'm not going to even be long.
Really trying to run a clip. We
right.
so you know we only going.
Give me 20 seconds, Tommy. As far as the Gabrielle,
like 50.
as far as the Gabrielle joint, right? I think that a lot of men misstep when we say stuff like that. He put his foot in his mouth by saying, you know, I pay the bills. So because in reality, whether I'm paying the bills or not, nothing's changing about authority around my house, right? So he put his foot in his mouth when he said I pay the bills, and then she's like, well, I pay half the bills, and he had to be like, oh damn, okay, well, I wouldn't have never did that. Me paying the bills don't got nothing to do with me being a leader. So.
All right, can Lakeisha finally go now?
I disagree.
Damn,
I disagree with what's his name?
It's my turn.
Wait. Hey, what are y'all doing?
You told me it was my turn.
This is what happens when you show favoritism to the women.
That's me.
Favoritism to the order, right? Y'all let you
no,
step
it's-
in when you were saying, hey, no.
Lakeisha, you've been so patient. Go ahead.
I'm gonna forget. I'm on time. My comment was up there. Anyway, I had to get back. I really wanted to share about the submission part because I think that it just been misunderstood for so long. I think submission was never meant for it to be one person losing their voice or like power. I think like true submission is mutual, is one to another. It's two people choosing to honor, respect, consider each other. And I think that a healthy relationship isn't about dominance. It's about alignment. Point blank, period. Sometimes I submit to your strengths, Mont, and sometimes true, you submit to mine. I think that the goal is not control, but harmony. But the way it comes off or across when we as women hear submission is like, oh, you know what I'm saying? It's like this word that's like crazy. However, I'm always a storyteller. Sorry, Trev, I get a few more time because they done took off. But I'm a true the storyteller. So, for those that don't know, I spent 20 years in the military and I've always been on my grind. Thank
you for your service.
You're welcome. I've always been this. I've always been a business owner. I've always been on it. And I've always run into issues. I was married once. Some people might have heard this story at one time. But my issue was for me, my ex-husband, I made more to him. And I made more to him from home, right? But I wasn't that traditional wife that we were talking about in the beginning that cooked the breakfast and I'm home taking care of kids. I don't have kids. He had kids. So I wasn't the traditional wife where I was taking home. I wasn't doing laundry. I wasn't doing it, but I made 6 figures from home. And so our problem was, he was like, why you ain't made breakfast? Right? I'm just giving you, why you ain't made breakfast?
A PhD.
Why you ain't made breakfast? And we started running into bumping heads because I did get to a point where I make more than you.
I'm a PhD.
Huh? What you say?
I don't know what that was.
I'm a PhD.
It's a soundbite.
Oh, I didn't hear it. Oh, but so he was just like, I wasn't submissive, I guess, if that's the word. I really wasn't listening to him. I felt like at that time, he couldn't tell me that because he was just like, where my food at, woman? Like, that's why the laundry ain't done. Why you ain't do the laundry?
I think that's more the army in you, not the money.
We about to run a whole clip. Go ahead, Will. I'm gonna let him go, but then
Right,
everybody else.
I was just interjecting. I wasn't trying to interrupt. Let her finish.
Were you done?
I think it was, the army and me. I don't know what the soft life is. Can somebody save me? I would love to live.
My God.
The soft life. I don't even know what that is. I ain't never had nobody pay my bills. No, what?
Lakeisha, you think maybe that's
long
the
topic
problem is that experience. Maybe you haven't had the experience yet, right? But
that's
men being leaders, men submit to y'all. We submit to each other, right? So you gotta think about it, right? Being a leader is much harder than just being 50-50 with you, right? Being 50-50 with a woman, letting her make her own mistake. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care about her debt. I don't care about none of that shit. Like, that would be so much easier to just be like, let her go outside and make the nigga, punch her for talking crazy. That's her business. Don't look at me. Like, all of that is like, it would be so much easier to be in 50-50 relationships. But us being leaders in general, right? That submission, because we don't have to do that. We want to do that for you, right?
So what
like
do I
that,
do? You see what I'm saying? Like during that time, like men,
So
tell me
that-
what should I have
the
done?
man that you were with is the man that you were with, and y'all had your own dynamic and all that. I can't tell you about that, but it depends on the type of man that you end up being with, right? A man is going to show you if you can trust him or not, and you're going to study him over time. And if you can trust him, then go ahead, go be with him.
And maybe that was the issue. I feel like maybe I didn't. Maybe you know what I mean. It was always, you know what I mean. It was always something like why you didn't or why you. I probably would have, but the way how the communication was, it was expected. He expected me to do this.
Yeah.
And I couldn't. I guess.
And I think you can't be with somebody who triggers you, right? I think you have to be with somebody I think we all need a level of understanding where each other's perspective is and what our thought is and what our safe space is. It's not the same for everybody. You have that military background, so you could be very masculine in a relationship, and maybe you don't know what that looks like to be feminine because of your job. But I think it's a level of understanding where you guys have to, come together in communication. I would say that's key with anything.
That might be true. I might not know how to be feminine. I never could be. You know what I mean? Or you just couldn't be. So I've tried, I think. But
you know what? Some men like that. So you might want to make some money off of that.
Especially a man of means. Like the thing about submission is like, yo, we don't have to be here, right? Like a man of means can be getting his house cleaned by maids every day, getting somebody cook him food, nanny for his kids, and having sex with whoever he want to and the women that he want to. Like getting down on one knee when you already have everything is a sign of like, I have everything and I can have anybody, but I want you and I'm willing to get down on one knee and like, here, that's the ultimate sign of submission for me. It's some men that be like, we should stop getting down on one knee and all that. I don't agree with.
I always get, what do you give a woman that has everything? That's what I always get. Like, what do I have? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want that. What don't you have that you have
that has everything? What do you
yourself? You give your man yourself if you have everything.
I do.
No,
Can I say something?
Bark like a dog. Woof, woof.
Can I say something?
We supposed to be watching this
Just
goddamn
did.
clip, Trev.
I feel like
Oh shit.
what's his name? Mont? Okay, Mont. To your point, right? That is a form of submission, getting down on one knee and choosing to be with that one person, right? But at the end of the day, it's all for a common goal, is it not?
It's my goal becomes our common goal. Our goal.
So she has to submit to sign up for that common goal, to be a partner with you or to be a part of accomplishing that goal.
You can say that, yes. Okay.
So if that's the case, then a lot of this could be solved by just mere communication.
Absolutely. Always communicate. That's a part of leadership. You send down, everybody need they operatives and whatever, they need their information. You give them a ton of information about leading.
So then we could pick apart all those clips that we watched and say that had he had these conversations with her prior to this, we wouldn't be where we at right now.
Possibly, but it never stops really,
What
It's
never
going.
stops?
So people change. People wants change. People needs change. The things that they learn about themselves. You might be into a situation and learn like, oh, I thought I wanted this and I thought I was okay with this, but I feel differently. And I think it's important as a man, you ask your woman, what does she think? But also how do you feel? Right? I think those both are important.
Yeah, I think
we really don't have an argument then, do we?
I think that going as far as doing the one knee, and I've said this on shows before, I really don't think women understand to the way Mont framed it, right? we asking to be with you, we're talking just a man, right? I'm not even gonna say high value or any of that. Any man is deciding to want to be with one woman is submission first. That's the disconnect. Nowhere in submission, and I'm glad that terrorist is gone. I know you guys are glad that she's gone, because now we can have an actual fruitful conversation.
I had to get rid of the class clown, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Submission never is a thing of silence yourself. It always is going to go back to communication. Communication is the foundation of any healthy relationship, any healthy dynamic, right? But there's this idea, for some odd reason, we just met y'all. You guys are saying the same thing that all women say. So does that mean I can't have a voice? No one ever said you can't have a voice. So does that mean his decision-making is final? Not necessarily. Depends on the dynamic y'all created. But for whatever reason, this is like embedded in the mind of women as of today. And it's kind of confusing, because when we approach you, we're committing to being with you. You get to ask me where I'm at. You get to ask me who's on the phone. You get to inquire about a whole bunch of crap based on the fact that I asked to be with you. And I don't hear men ever complaining about that. Like, it just blows my mind. Like, to put ourselves in a relationship requires us to subdue our natural urges, our natural desires, our inclination to be autonomous as we once were. Like I think Jay has said, we lived life before we met you. That is a mutual thing. So if I'm man, I've lived independently, I've taken care of all the crap I need to, and I'm deciding that you just that cute, you just that fine, you're just that dope, I want to be with you. How do you not see that as ultimate submission? I think that's the part that blows my mind. And most men, generally speaking, I don't want you to be quiet, sweetie. Give me your opinion. I don't want to argue and battle with you over what is best suited for what we're trying to accomplish. I think that's what most men are generally saying.
Yeah, and
so
also I wanted to ask you, what's your name?
Y'all said fuck this clip, huh?
I'm True.
Oh.
Nice to meet you, Toya.
Keep talking. He said
Keisha?
keep talking.
It's Keisha? Lakeisha?
Yeah.
I just wanted to point out something, because I remember you said something about how you come from a military background and you've had this somewhat masculine persona, and I think you had mentioned that you were out earning your somebody at some point, right? My thing is, though, with that, it's like, how does that benefit him unless he ain't got no money?
And I agree. That's why I'm glad you said that, because I was trying to answer Trey from the chat, because he said the same thing. So I never brought up money in the 4 years, right, that we were married, right? But when he started saying things like, well, you should be a stay-at-home wife. You should be blah, 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 blah. I go out every day and I'm doing this, and I think that was like a defense mechanism.
So wait, so you were out earning him and you were a stay-at-home wife? You didn't have to go to work?
Yes, ma'am.
No, she was working at home. I thought you were working from home.
Working from home.
So I'm retired.
So she wasn't working from home. She was just receiving an income.
No. So I spent a lot of years in network marketing. I did a lot of things. I'm about my bread.
Okay.
Just so
right.
you know.
So my thing is, when you were at home, were you actively working at home, or were you just chilling?
I'm a residual income earner. So
she won't work it.
It's a little.
She set herself up to collect the checks.
Gotcha. Do you have any
yes.
children with that man?
I don't have any children at all, ma'am.
Okay. So
None.
my question is this. I remember you stated a part where you said, okay, when he came home, he was like, woman, where's my food? Why is there no food being made? Or whatever the case may be. Is that not something that y'all spoke about prior? Like, hey, I'm going to work. So when I come home, is there going to be dinner? No?
Nope.
But I mean, even though you set yourself up to be in a position where you can collect residual income, he didn't. No. So he's actively outside working, right? Yeah. So why would it not be a thought that, maybe I should fix him something to eat?
So I agree. I 100% would agree with that. I would do that sometime, right? I mean, let me say this. Don't judge me, men.
Did you also pay most of the bills?
Late. I'm
did you pay most of the bills?
Yep.
Did you pay most of the bills?
Then you shouldn't have been cooking and cleaning and shit. What the fuck are you talking about?
Hold on. Let her go ahead, Lakeisha. What you about to say?
Yeah, so and like I said, I like sharing stories because I don't mind. I'm an open book. Some folks know. But yeah, I paid most of the bills. I did. And I made the most money. So for me, I wasn't slaving over the state. I'm real honest, y'all, please. But be good with me. I just was like, he had kids. His kids live with us. I was the helpmate instead of the help. So I was running the kids from practices, doing this, doing that, while he was out making money that I never saw. Right? So
What do you do with his money?
So he was supposed to be flipping properties and doing, yeah. But I never used to see it. Don't say
When you say you paid most of the bills,
I did.
How much would you say? 60, 40, 55?
So where was his money going?
Good question. I'm divorced, right?
That's interesting.
Well, I'm surprised.
All right, real quick. I want to try to get Riri in there real quick, and then Willie Beam is up.
No, I don't want to go. I want to see the clip, bro. We've been trying to get to the clip for like 7 people.
Well, all right. Well, we're gonna get Riri in there first, and then we got.
Let Riri go. See the clip.
You on mute, Riri? There you go.
You're still on mute.
You're still on mute.
You got to come off mute.
She's trying. I see the fingernails.
It's her first time.
It's
So
the
don't-
nails.
It's all right. She coming. There you go.
Willie, your statement still the same?
Which one?
Riri, you went back on mute. Hold on, y'all. Let her go.
Yeah, y'all can't take her off mute yourself.
I can.
Ooh la la.
I just tried to unmute her.
Whatever you did, do this shit again. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
The floor is yours, ma'am. The floor is yours, ma'am. That was delayed.
Oh,
She might have a
I can't
delay.
hear anything. Are y'all talking to
Oh,
me?
you can't.
Yeah,
We
come
can
on,
hear
yeah.
you. Yeah,
I
we're
can't
talking to
hear
you.
anything.
We can hear
Tell
you.
her to turn off
so
you.
listen, you
Tell her
got
Turn
to
off
hit refresh.
YouTube. Yeah,
Oh,
you got
that's
to
why
turn off
you're on an
YouTube,
Android phone.
and she got to turn off. You got to turn off YouTube.
Just
No, I'm on an Apple. I'm have an iPhone. Thank you very much.
I was just
Okay, we
talking
can hear
shit.
you.
I know.
We can hear you now. Just chime in. We're not going to interrupt you, so we'll hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, so I cannot hear you guys at all on my phone. So I just want to say I've been listening to this entire podcast from the beginning, and it's a great great conversation. But I feel like as a society, we have moved so far away from the biblical meaning of a marriage and what that means. I feel like people are talking more about what they would do in a relationship, what they want from their boyfriend or their girlfriend. But the Bible doesn't talk about relationships. You don't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. It's between the husband and the wife. And a lot of people get married for the wrong purpose. The whole reason of being married is for the edification of Jesus Christ. So with that being said, I want to just let you guys know what the roles are in a biblical marriage. So sorry, there's like a huge delay with my phone. So, but it's pretty much the
So
husband and
we'll have you
wife
refresh the app when you
center
can.
on mutual love and respect, with the husband's call to sacrificial, so Christ-like leadership. So a man that does not follow Christ, he cannot be a leader. I really believe in that. Women are getting married to men who do not believe in Jesus Christ. And when that happens, that's when, violence, domestic violence come into play. That's when, all of these things, just horror stories you hear, because people, again, are getting married and getting into covenants that they should not be in. The role of a husband is to be a sacrificial leader, which is the head of the home. He's supposed to be a provider and a protector and a cherisher. Okay, that's what it is. And then for a wife, she's a helper. She's a partner. She respects her husband. She's his backbone. And I know I may sound like simple, whatever, but it's the Bible's version of what a marriage should be. And again, societal and cultural norms have pushed us so far away from that, that we have our own individual interpretation of what marriage is. I don't care about a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend. Y'all can have that all day long. The Bible doesn't speak of that. And, you know, I'm not perfect. I've been married before. I've had boyfriends before. And now I'm in my abstinent season. I am abstaining from sex. I'm abstaining from having a man. I've been abstinent for the past 2 years, and I will continue to be abstinent until God sends me my husband. I work for a bank. I'm very successful.
How
I
old are
make
you?
good money. But if I meet my husband that God sends me and we have that conversation, at that point, if I marry that man, I'm going to be his helpmate. And God is going to provide for us to where he can be the head of the household. I will find my identity through being by his side and supporting him as a wife, because God will provide that for me. So the other talk about, oh, boyfriend, girlfriend, this and that, y'all can argue all day about it, but when it really matters, it matters because it's purpose behind it and God is in the center of it. That's all I gotta say.
Awesome. All right, so we're gonna run that clip finally, and then we'll jump back into it, but we'll break it up for just a second.
You got to move based on the circumstances. And then their circumstances is, and again, I'm outside looking in, their circumstances is, it's not necessary for her to do that. It's not necessary for her to feel that way.
What if it's necessary
because
for her mental?
no,
Postpartum.
Yeah, what if it's
Like,
necessary for her mental?
all of that.
Y'all gotta know this goes way deeper than just her wanting to go get a job. When we carry life inside of us for 10 months, we change so much, not just physically, emotionally, our hormones have changed, our fucking chemical make everything changes.
Let me ask you a question.
You really don't even know who you are.
Let me ask you a question.
Before they're back to normal.
I didn't know who I was for 4 years.
Let me ask you a question. As all these changes are happening, who's that backbone for you?
Your partner,
Who's that support
your
for you?
husband, your fiance.
Who's that? When you look in the mirror and you don't recognize you, who is that support system?
It should be my partner.
No. Fuck should.
It's my partner.
Fuck should.
But then what about the
Who
days
is?
where, say she had a rough day and the baby has a fever, he's been crying for hours and diarrhea, whatever. It's been a stressful day. Do you come home and say, baby, you look so beautiful today and you did a really good job. Thank you. And you know, you got this warm plate at the table. Like, are you also giving her props and her credit?
Wait.
For everything that she's done? Because I'm saying it's like,
not to cut you off, but it's like you're saying that as if the man is just out of the way. And I'm speaking for the day-to-day dads. I'm speaking for the niggas who change diapers. I'm speaking for the niggas who help with homework. I'm speaking for the niggas who pour into their kid when they went to that trial, didn't make it, and I gotta goddamn coach them up to be to have the confidence that they need to have. And I feel like that's getting undercut in this conversation. Again, if bro is a distant dad, which y'all saying is 100% right, but the same way you going through that shit, I'm going through that shit.
So I'm glad
that's my baby, just like it is yours.
So the type of person I am, all I do is uplift sin. We got 7 out the way, baby. Let's get back in this gym. You got a young son. You're 32. When you get older, you're going to want to be right. You're going to have the energy. Let's get back to eating right. I tell her this every day. How many times is it? I tell her this every day. Hey, let's get back right. Like, I don't tell her, oh, get back to your old body. Hey, let's get back right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm the type to, hey, you good. Like, she come here like, oh, I just don't feel. Jasmine, I call Jasmine. Can you do it her? Can you boom, boom, boom? That's the type of nigga I am. So it ain't got nothing to do with that side.
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie. I get more triggered faster because I feel like I can't figure what's going on. So I've been alone edge lately. But when it comes to being a man, provider, uplifting, all that, like I got that.
I'm here.
Like this the most we didn't. This the first time. This the most we did this in a long time as far as like we argue over petty stuff. But it was just, you brought up the first stuff. Right. I just felt like the energy made me just say, let me just bring it here. So I just feel like it's a minor problem. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing crazy. I know shit, we emotional right now, but That's another thing. I'd be like, I'm on your side. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm on your side.
Everything
Yeah,
I do.
Yes. Uplift
for
her.
us.
I've never once said, oh my God, can you get back to I encourage her. I'm sorry, inside we supposed to start the gym September. We didn't. Did I yell at you? Did I curse you? It's always February. I let her take her time. I'm still, you know what I'm saying? So I'm that type of person. Like we gonna get through it. Like I'm never looking down on us. I'm more so mad at the stuff like, you think I'm shitting? That's why me too. Like, you think I'm shitting on you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never nothing about.
And that's the
that.
thing.
So
like, as like niggas, man, like that nigga love you, bro.
Yeah,
like real rap.
Can I say something about this really quick?
Yes, you may.
Because, okay, so I think there's a couple things going on. She just had a baby. Okay, they made a point as far as like when you have a kid, your body goes through a lot of changes. Your hormones are all over the place. I'm just going to be real about hormones play a factor in your emotions, your mental health, you know, how supportive you could be to your partner, how you could eat, how you're taking care of yourself. So that is, I think that's something separate. I think that's probably what she's going through right now. That whole postpartum, you know, not feeling like herself and maybe wanting some type of to find her identity because right now she's just caring for a child. I like the fact that he is showing support, but I'm looking at her body language and it shows that that's still not good enough. And I think it's just not good enough just because of where she is mentally. And I think that a lot of times men don't understand. I know, Trev, we've had this conversation before, is that because women are emotional, right? Our hormones change. They could literally break up a relationship. You know, they affect us in so many ways that I think that men have to know what that looks like to be able to even support a woman when they're going through that. And I think that a lot of times what is the issue with these dynamics.
So she wants a new identity after becoming a mother. That is the most fucked up thing I've heard.
That's not what I'm saying.
No. That's not what it is.
I'm not talking
That's
to
not
any
what
one
it
of
is.
y'all.
That's not what it is. That's not what it is at all.
Hey, so I promise you that when it's your turn to talk, I'll stop talking. But if that's what you guys are attributing what she's doing, or you just said that maybe that's what she's going through, I didn't even know that she just had a baby. So the idea that this woman just had a baby and now is having a fucking identity crisis, that's weird.
All right, so
I don't think it's that she's having an identity crisis.
Can you hear me? Yeah, so I think we got in this specific situation, we got to show her a whole lot of grace. I'm gonna tell you why.
Because she got shot back behind a nigga?
Yeah.
Man, get the fuck out of here, bro.
That shit might have fucked her mentality up, bro. She could really be struggling mentally based off of
Bro,
that.
you
Get
done
shot
gave
in
them
the face
that, and now they
changes,
fix to
especially as a
blame
woman.
everything else that she did on that bullshit.
As a woman getting shot in the face, like
I'm sorry, wait, can you clarify the timeline of what we talking about?
So a while back, like some years ago, some niggas ran in their house and she was shot. Right?
Years ago, as in
3, 4, something like that. It's Googleable, you know.
Okay.
So I don't track the nigga for real. But
Okay.
and then they just had a baby, like within the last year, I think, or something like that. Can't hear you.
Therapy. Lots of intensive.
Therapy.
No,
That's
she
the only
was
thing.
prison. She was shot. But again,
So she's going through some kind of traumatic recovery, plus the fact that she's going through postpartum, and everything that she's saying right now is just a crock of shit. Okay.
How long did she have the baby? How long?
I say like within the last year.
She just said the baby is 7 months old.
7 months.
Postpartum goes on for fucking 2 years.
Up to 2
Sometimes 4, depending on the woman.
Is this a statistic or we
True.
Depending on the woman, I think. I don't know. I don't have.
No, it's very factual.
Look it up. I'm pretty sure you can find it on the internet. Postpartum
All right,
is
True,
a real
what do-
thing. And
True,
you said
what's
she
your-
got
Yes.
shot like 3-4 years ago? Bruh. I think what she's looking for is security.
I'm more so
safety.
mad.
I don't know if it's safe. I don't know if it's safe, Trev. Like Toya with the
No,
neck
go
roll.
ahead.
Nah,
Go ahead,
it don't
man.
seem safe.
True,
I
but
don't have
listen,
look.
as
I
soon
don't
as
have any.
I know you ain't scared.
Oh, I'm
as
never
soon as you
scared.
find out how she got
All right.
shot, you won't feel bad for her. That's all
I'm
I'm
never
gonna say.
How she
never
got
scared.
shot? You said
Not,
niggas ran up
No,
in their
you
house
didn't.
and shot her.
not fucking listening to her man is how she got shot.
How? If they ran into her
Down,
house, tell
stepping
me
up, and
how.
being quiet is how she got shot.
Tell me how.
I just did in English. She was shot because she didn't listen to the man who was protecting her, and she got her ass popped.
In her house.
Meaning what? He told her to lock the door and she didn't lock it. So elaborate.
Or she told him to stay here. She followed her ass with him, and then guess what happened?
So she followed him to their house?
Never mind.
I'm confused. You said that they was in the house.
I'm very well spoken.
It looks like she probably. I don't know anything.
Well,
of the
we
story,
don't know
but
the
judging
story.
on
I don't know.
What he
He's
just
saying,
said.
can
Judging
I-
on what he just said, they were in a
She
room.
need a therapist. She
said
need a
stay
therapist.
here
She
where
got
it's safe.
shot. She postpartum. She
said
need
stay
therapy.
here where it's
Ain't
safe.
nothing that man can do for her. She
So he
needs
could take
damn
the brunt of
therapy
it
right now.
because that. So hold on. It sounds
And
like
she's
Will was
pregnant
saying
again.
that.
Goddamn.
So obviously she ain't that depressed.
Oh well, she's
No,
pregnant again. Listen,
unfortunately.
I'm not a postpartum guy, but if she's pregnant right now, I know how batshit crazy that can make a woman. So I don't have anything to say.
You're
She's
not a
pregnant right now.
postpartum guy because you didn't have kids.
No, I'm not opposed. I'm not. What I mean by that is, I'm not one of those guys who accepts that as an excuse. But as her being pregnant right now,
An excuse is wild.
so cool. But if she's pregnant
That's
right now,
wild.
she gets all
Hold
the grace
on,
in the world because
you
being
ad-libbing
currently
real
pregnant,
hard. Hold on.
that shit is crazy.
Okay, now he's done. Now you can call it.
Oh,
wild.
there's
So
a
if
lot
she's
here.
Okay, well, to say that postpartum is an excuse is wild to me. You have no
Well, why would she
idea.
get pregnant again, knowing that she's postpartum? I'm sorry, I'm the devil's advocate one. I'm the different one.
So she got
Why would
herself
she get
pregnant? I want to hear
again?
that shit.
Why would she get pregnant again, knowing that she's going through postpartum, ain't been to therapy, but
I
she's
guess some
pregnant
people
again
like
now?
unprotected sex.
Well,
She
pregnancy
be
is
having
just from
it,
sex.
she got stuff going on.
So
You can't
let's
deny
be
your man
honest.
sex, like, and it not.
Because
you know.
everybody can identify postpartum symptoms. Everybody could like figure that out.
Yeah,
on their
we
own.
have somebody who's on the chat who's in denial of postpartum, even though it is a clinically identifiable disease. Okay, so let's just be honest. In the Black community, we have problems identifying or really recognizing, right, when something is wrong and thinking you can will yourself out of things that are internally just wrong with you. Your hormones may not re-regulate properly, right? Black women already deal with PCOS, fibroids, all these things that relate to estrogen issues.
Becky, before you get too
And,
far, I got a quick question for you. Because you
Yes.
said it was a clinically identifiable disece,
Yes.
right? Just like narcissism.
No,
Something
when I
like that.
say sorry, not just clinically, it's also a physiologically identifiable postpartum
Okay.
as well.
Got
So
you.
there you can look at
Yeah.
someone's hormones levels and see like, oh, these haven't gone
Mhm.
back into alignment with they should be
Got
after a certain period of time. So
Okay.
it's not just it's a medical
Got
and
you.
it affects your
Like
brain.
clinical
Unfortunately.
depression or something like that. I guess my
Right.
question is this, right? Because and by the way, I don't necessarily agree with Willie on this topic. I'm typically one of the guys that argue that I do believe in postpartum depression. However, would you say that most people who talk about having postpartum aren't necessarily diagnosed with postpartum? They just kind of throw it out.
They do, and too many people do not, and that's one of the issues with it is that too many people are afraid to seek help. It's in any community, but specifically in the Black community, when you already know if you're already starting from a negative baseline, right? If you already have issues hormonally, and then you introduce pregnancy, and then those things don't go back to what at least your baseline or what they should be, all types of issues are going to break out. All this to say is that I feel sorry for the woman. Definitely prayers, because PTSD from a gunshot, when Willie mentioned she didn't listen to her man, which I'm assuming means they were in a room. He went to go leave the room to check out what happened instead of her staying behind like he made a
by
recommended.
herself in the house. She was by herself when they broke in.
She was on the phone. Didn't follow instructions.
And she went to go see what was going on instead of
calling.
I
Doing
mean,
what he was told. But you're right. I agree with everything you just said about already being fucked up, having a baby, getting more fucked up hormonally. No argument there.
there's a lot of layers that unfortunately this woman is going through, which I think this conversation is one that honestly they shouldn't even be having right now, because issues around it. And so even saying, why do you want to leave the house could literally mean she may be losing her mind at home, right? If they didn't move houses, you're now in a home with a vulnerable child, PTSD. It's going to trigger you. Now you're pregnant, home with a vulnerable child. You also have PTSD. And we see this though, too many people, we see plenty of people who thinks having babies and just pushing through it and moving past it is going to fix things. And we see it in the Black community all the time. Oh, we're going to have this baby to fix our marriage. Oh, I want to keep this person around. I done trapped her. I've heard people say this on podcasts.
I'm not gonna argue that a lot of niggas think that their dick is all the therapy their woman needs. I can't argue against that. So,
go ahead, True.
Oh no, I wanted to ask: is this I'm very ignorant to this topic, right? Is this a new phenomenon? But I'm only coming from the place of like babies have been being born in like huts in the middle of nowhere for like a lot of years, right? And like modern medicine is pretty advanced. This seems to be like the new tag to like everything related to baby having and women not feeling the best. I don't know. I'm trying to be educated. That's why I'm asking.
No. Can I answer this?
I think because of social media. Sorry. I think because of social media, like, you know, just like depression, right? It's like almost like this is a new phenomenon, you know, anxiety, things like that. I think just because of social media, you see more of it. You see these studies being done, but this has been since, you know, since
The
people have been
beginning of
having kids.
time.
I think that everybody
Yes.
didn't know that it was postpartum. You start to, you know, more studies are put into play. You start to see people are killing their kids. People are killing their children because of postpartum. And I know that
killing themselves too.
What'd you say, Willie?
We talked about this postpartum and how women
Yeah.
are the number one purveyors of infanticide. So no argument. But what we also left out of the conversation is only 13% of women who give birth are diagnosed with PTSD. But that doesn't mean that that's the only ones who have it. However, the one of the things that we have to stop doing in our community is self-diagnosing ourselves with shit because of how we feel. Because we Googled it or chat GPT'd it and oh shit, you know, it's niggas in the chat right now. They got a hair bump. They swear it's a hair bump, but that shit is herpes. Because they chat GPT'd it. Now they don't want to saying they done found something to make them feel good. They found the diagnosis they wanted, and then that's what they run with. So
And I will say, true, right? This is the thing. They used to call it they had the baby blues, right? We used to hear the old folks say, oh, she just got the baby blues. She'll be all right. The woman probably had postpartum depression.
Yeah.
We're also at a sicker baseline as Black women, specifically in America. Food, vaccines, medicines, environment, right? This is why you see a lot of people. Lapita just came out about fibroids and all that, right? And how it's affecting majority, you know, a lot of Black women are affected. So we're unfortunately sicker now at baseline than previous generations. We got a lot of issues.
I think if you're with a woman, right, whether she's your wife or you've been with her for some time, I think it should be fairly easy for you to identify when she's acting different after a baby, right? Like if she you should just be able to identify her behavior just being different from what it used to be. So I don't know, and I do think we're in an age where, and I do think we're in an age where there is a lot of people calling out diagnoses on Instagram and just, you know, being like, even, and it don't matter where it is, you know, whether you're calling somebody a narcissist or whether you're in the NFL, everybody's saying, you know, everybody got what it's called, CTE. You know, just throwing. It's a period where we just throwing everything out there, and a lot of it, some of it may be true, but I do think, like Willie said, a lot of these things do need to be diagnosed. Like, just get a diagnosis before we start throwing things.
Say, what's funny you brought up CTE, and this is going to give the women a bone here, that they have spent 8 times the money researching CTE as they have researching PCOS, fibroids, and what's the other thing y'all deal with a lot?
Ovarian cysts is on the rise too.
No, it's the one that makes y'all crazy.
Menopause.
There you go, menopause. Bam, the one where your shit stopped. They spent 8 times that they spent 8 times the amount of money researching CTE than they did this. You know why? Because CTE affects $1 billion business, and the treatments for it is going to create another $1 billion industry. So I do think that's pretty funny that you mentioned CTE of all things, because that is so well documented that they have a actual template for what a brain looks like. And every brain that they say has CTE looks just like it. And then they pointed out that Aaron Hernandez had such an advanced CTE. And when you see what that nigga was on, he was shooting people inside of clubs and going to play football games on Sunday. Like nothing happened.
That nigga was like that since high school, though.
Fair. That's fair.
Go ahead, Toya. Oh, well.
No, I was just saying that part.
Oh, okay.
Everything, but I'm sure it's a lot taking care of a small baby.
Sure.
And what you do, it's a lot that you taking care of the whole house. So it's like, why are we like comparing?
But that's what I said. We never compared.
Okay.
It ain't me saying you don't do what I do. This all started because I felt like she think I'm bragging on stuff that I take as a compliment that makes me get up every day to grind. Like what I take every day, I like being able to say what I did and what I do for. There's so many girls that be in my DM and say, I need a man that treat me like you treat Cinnamon. Cinnamon like tell Cinnamon, give me her prayer. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's like what I do it for. Like, yeah, I see it. I boom, boom. But I feel like we got lost in the, yeah, well, you ain't gotta keep on saying what you, and that's what a job. She feel like she gotta. I feel like she got to compete. She trying to not compete with me, but she feel like, well, you know, I need a job because I don't want to feel like you said, the fear. And like you said, that's kind of slapping my face like a fear for what? My son ain't gonna like, yeah, first of all, that's my son. So
I got you.
I ain't gonna, yeah, I feel you saying you need to be in survival mode for your son, but that's my son too. So what survival mode you in?
Of course, you're going to play your role. You're going to do what you have to do. I want to make sure I'm able to do what I have to do.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's it. Like that's it. That's all. I want to be. If my son come to me, Mama, can I get this, this, and this? I don't want to be like, go ask your daddy.
But it ain't that though, because you know it ain't gonna be that because you got your own.
I know
Amex
that.
car.
I
So
know,
what?
but
So
I
what?
still like.
What?
I
That don't
still
make
want
sense
to
though.
have. It's not to be in competition. It's not because what you're telling me. You do this, you do that, and trust me, I don't want to work. I don't want to work, but like I have a child now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking bigger. I'm thinking long term.
For sure.
I'm not even if like I'm not just hey something.
Right.
Something.
Right.
That's it. I can't think for myself or just us anymore. Gotta think for him now too.
Mm-hmm.
God forbid you fall off, then I can handle it.
As men, like we need that acknowledgement, and I think that
I feel like you.
Joe, you tell me every time how so appreciative, how so grateful I am.
That's something else though.
Right. So
I ain't say you're not appreciative. That's a whole nother. I think that you think you don't like that I brag. You don't like that what I brag on. You think that's shitting on you.
No.
You don't like. If I was just sitting there, I wish I should have did it. I should sit there and been like, yeah, man, I got you. Remember, I got you 4 cars. I got you a house you want. I got you that. I promise you would have been like,
been so appreciative.
Nah, it ain't
so
that.
Thank you.
I don't know if I'm missing something, but does it seem like he don't listen to her?
Yes. It's giving, it's like a fine line with him between insecurity and wanting to provide and fulfill that in her life because of how he's talking.
I normally notice that with women, but also I guess people who are just kind of like on a lower level intellectually, maybe. I think that it's important to listen to people. I hate it when somebody tell me what I mean. It's like when a woman, I'm just giving.
So basically, you're saying,
yeah, like when a woman tell you like, oh, like why don't you want this? Are you insecure? And it's like you've already decided in your head that I'm insecure before you just inquired about maybe getting me to articulate how I feel. I feel like he's trying to like kind of tell her how she feels and what her motives are versus just hearing what she's saying.
I don't know if y'all ever listen to Hitman when he be battle rapping, but he talk a whole lot of the big money, you know what I'm saying? I'm him, you get in line, fall in line, you know what I'm saying? So he take that persona and he apply that to rappers. And I could see him in a fight telling her like, or maybe not even in a fight, but in different various ways, letting her know that he the breadwinner and she should be he kind of low-key slick did it in there when he was like, the other women hit me up wishing they had a nigga like me, and I just bought you a house, I bought you, like, I don't think that's the first time he said that. That might not even be the first time he said that in that interview. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. He came from the Lou and he made it big. And went to battles to see Hitman. So I'm happy to see his success and glad to see a man providing and putting on for his family like that. But I think when you get in a position where you're not used to, he might be impressed by himself. So he's saying it out loud, you know what I'm saying? And that can be offensive to somebody who hasn't achieved the same thing, because she went from probably him and her being broke together to him being this superstar. And now he throwing that shit, you know what I'm saying? In her mind, in her face. And he like, I'm just celebrating my wins. And she like, well, that's kind of making me feel away, and I can't go win because I'm with the baby. Because her even saying that I want to be able to provide for my children, I don't think she feels safe in a relationship, because the amount of money he making and the trajectory that he moving on, she should just be happy, like, yeah, we're gonna win. She might feel like he might leave her at some point, or whatever thing she done put together in her head. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying
she's insecure.
Are they married?
So she's insecure
I
then.
don't think they're married. Are they married?
No.
How long have they
All
been
that
together?
for a relationship.
How long they been together?
I don't think they should get married if this is how she feels now.
They've been
So
together
they
for a
got
long
married,
time.
but she been with this man for 12 years,
12 years.
according to
Yeah,
him.
12 years.
That's
I
why.
don't think
But
she's
something
happy
she
though.
said,
I don't think
like,
she's happy.
well, yeah, she doesn't seem happy, but something she
I don't think
said,
she's
which
happy.
didn't
I
make
know
sense
she's
to
not
me.
happy.
This man is providing all this for you. I definitely agree with what is it, M. White? I definitely agree that she doesn't feel like safe somehow, and I don't know if what just recently happened, played a role, but she doesn't feel safe because she's saying, like, if my son is asking me for something, I want to be able to provide it for him. He's like, you can provide it. But in her mind, I think it's like, well, it's not coming from me, it's coming from you. So she's probably lost behind him. But it's like, okay, do you want me to provide or do you want to work?
Man, I'm
He's
about
like,
to
ask
revoke all these
me and
credit
I'll
cards.
give it to him for you.
You know, I understand the male perspective on the marriage thing, right? But I do think that I don't fully know their relationship, but I am skeptical of why. I know she want to get married. Girls want to get married. I'm skeptical of why he doesn't. Maybe I don't even know if they engage or not. I don't know, but I am skeptical of that because I'm pretty sure her whole thing right now is just screaming like, I want security, right? And as a man, I would be asking like, how can I give you that? Like, I want you to be comfortable. We in a relationship. We've been together for 12 years. We got kids. You got shot from
Okay,
me.
boy, I'm her.
Like,
I want to work. How you
so-
can make me
But
provide.
I think I want to work.
She don't want to work. I don't think she want to work. But I think the security she wants, like, I'm sorry to cut you off, man, but I think the security that she wants, if I was to guess, is for her to feel like she don't have to ask permission to spend the money, and that their money is their money, and they're really in this together. And it's not, if he changes his mind at any point, then she out on her own and trying to figure it out. If I was to guess, that's probably what.
But M. White, the thing that to me that's damning is like you telling me that now we have a child, and you're telling me that you got to make sure that he's good. That's what you worried about in the back of your head, is making sure that. So
I think it is, because she did say that. She was like,
yeah,
if he decides to leave, she did say that.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like, so you thinking about my son's, you're thinking about my son's livelihood, you're thinking about his future. Why don't I have that taken care of? If I bought you 4 cars, I bought you this, that, and the third, like all of that should be taken care of. You should like trust and all that type of stuff. So I'm thinking like, I'm sorry to whoever disagree with me, but like what, as a man, I feel like maybe he could be doing better about providing security or just communicate, like they're not on the same page.
But is it her or is it him?
Yeah, I don't think that I don't think, we don't know. We're speculating, right?
Just buy our business and call it a day.
But from what it sounds like, she kind of what NY said, it sounds like she wants the security to come from her own doing. There's something about her like silently screaming for this. She needs to prove something to him for, I guess, her value set. That's what it seems like, which is, again, it's weird because I said it before, if he created the environment, you're able to even think and arrive in the world the way you are because of the provisions that have been laid before you. I think this is where the divide kind of happens. It's kind of strange You want the privilege, as she said, I don't want to work. That's a privilege. But then you also want to be able to have a subset of authority or like pseudo authority financially if your son comes to you and asks for something.
True. The thing is, it's fake money right now, right? It's like stocks, right? Oh, stocks is real money, but it's fake money, right? Because if the stock drop one day, if you put $1 billion in it, it's zero, and you can't do nothing about it. It's just $0 for whatever happened to the stock, right? But it's fake money that she has right now. So any day, whatever she has or whatever idea of security that she has can be swept underneath her feet if he decides to leave her. So to me, I'm thinking like, as you have a woman, how do you make it so that she doesn't feel like all of the way that she lives in the vacations and all of that does not get swept from underneath her feet? Because she probably don't have a bank account that got $3 million in it that she can look at every day. That's probably his bank account, and she probably don't have access to it, right? So it's like she's probably getting what he sends her.
She does have access. I'm sorry, but he says she does have access to the money. So clearly, there's a
She said he got.
Oh, so she can control the money. If she, well,
she got
not
the
control, but
Amex cards. That's
Nah,
what
he told her. He said she got an Amex.
Marries this woman who says that she
That's what I
needs
said.
security, but
Amex is different.
you already know what type of time she's gonna be on when shit go left. Like again, I understand that being engaged with being with somebody for 12 years without being married is the wildest shit in the world to me. That is the dumbest shit that a woman and man can do. Y'all been doing everything like y'all married. You might as well at least have a ceremony for her or something. Like fuck. But she wants security. If she wants security in the form of marriage, that security that she's going to get is just going to be that the government can enforce him to provide his duties. And in the event that shit goes left, she can try to take half his shit. So I wonder if they've had that conversation, because it seems like that should be like high up on the conversation to have list.
But see, I'm gonna speculate too though, Willie, because she said something and I don't know if anybody caught it. She said, I started thinking about the future now that we got a son. That to me is probably not the first time he's heard something along them lines. I wouldn't trust her either. I would give her limited access too, if that's the mindset that you're carrying, because you telling me that 12 years, 5 years in, you wouldn't think about the future. 7 years in, you wouldn't think about the future. So now that we have a kid, you're now all of a sudden thinking about the future.
But true. What if
life
she's thinking
about her
about?
eyes when she got shot?
Right, that's where I was going. What if the shooting made her realize?
Yeah, it ain't just the kid; it's the shooting too.
I'm saying, look, when people get shot, a lot of times it changed how they perspective on life. Like you realize how close to being dead you appreciate the way you could be. So if she they was coming for you. If something happened to you, how am I going to provide for our kids if I don't set this up? I wouldn't be surprised if the reason they doing that podcast is based off of that, so she can figure out how to generate income. So if something did happen to him, she could still survive without him. And it happened all the time. A man died and the woman wasn't in position. That shit might.
This is an easy fix for him because he got money. You can go buy that girl $1 million business for $150, and she'll generate 40, 50 a month. Like
that's all she needs.
He has options, and and the thing is that the majority of people, like if any of you guys get with a dude who can pay all your bills, that should be one of his priorities, is putting you in position to make sure that you are good when he dies. Like we should be forward thinking from the front. Buying a girl a business is not difficult when you already have the capital to do it. Like it's not.
Yeah, but I don't think he's done that, and that's why she feels.
Well, I can't say that he hasn't. However, for me in this position, that's not a problem I'm having. Okay, you want security, cool. What are you passionate about? You like design? Let's go buy you a graphic design firm. Find one, 800,000. Put $120 up to get it. SBA the rest of the shit. Now you in charge. You got a job where you the boss, and I ain't got to worry about you asking Tom, Chris, or Harry, can we take off so we can go on vacation? Because I want to get up and go to, I don't know, Freaknik or some shit. Like this is a stupid problem to have when you have money. Which is the point to me. Like this is a dumb. Either get rid of her or get rid of her problem. It's like two things. It's real simple. And fuck, I mean, nigga, child support is not that bad. I promise you. Just pay the shit, and the freedom is worth it. Like these niggas is wild.
And on top of that, like it's probably a lot of women in her ear, right? About him, like 12 years, no marriage, right? And is it a reasonable thing to think about? I think so. It's reasonable to question why he don't why he hasn't married her, maybe why he don't want to marry her. It's a reasonable question. So, and even if it's, I think people should get prenups and postnups. I think they should. I don't think the government should decide what y'all going to do. I think y'all should decide what y'all going to do. But I don't know any men unless these are the men who really don't want you to be well off after y'all break up are the men that the women be talking about. But they could be conflating them with men like us, men like me. I don't want you to have to depend on me after we leave. I want you to be fine. I want you to be better than what I left you. But some men might want to be that. I pay the bills. Without me, you ain't shit. Some men might want to be that, right? But I think that most men should want to make sure that she's cool after that, after that relationship is over.
You already gave her a baby. Shit. I think giving a woman a baby means more than marrying her, to be honest. Like, so
you can't back out of that one.
You can't. Well, you can. You just can't back out of it easily, and if not, you will be shunned by society.
How do you
What if she's not? What if she's not that type of girl? What if she's not the type of girl we think she is? Right? What if she's like, yo, I don't want to have to go and fight you in court and be the bad guy and try to try and have them go inside your bank account and all that type of stuff. What if she's like, yo, I want to go out here and get it on my own? Like, I don't. Yeah.
We all know
you're such an optimist. You're such an
all
optimist.
of us up here know that's not likely the case, because she has all the talking points for a girl who wants to take half of your shit when you get divorced. The girls who want to go get it on their own ask you to help them go get it on their own. They don't tell you that, oh, well, I don't have an identity because my nipples and I got shot in the throat that one time because of you. Like, that's not what they say. They come to you with a problem so you can solve it. She just said, I don't have an identity, and she's expecting him to extrapolate from that. Well, how can I fix this? Can I give you more money? No. If a woman wants you to,
no, she said she wanted a job.
She will go do it.
But she said she doesn't want to work. Something I'm confused.
Yeah, I'm confused too. I don't think she knows.
She said she doesn't want to work, but she feels like she should in order to have something for her son. And I think some of this though was security, right? And I think, let me just tell you, people make this mistake. And people think death is the worst thing that can happen, but a lot of people have insurance policies for that. What they don't have insurance policy for is disability. There's people who said, "Hey, my husband was the breadwinner, paid all the bills. I worked. He became disabled, and those insurance policy wasn't going to do nothing for you. Now you got to get it from the mud, right?" So I think that that's one of the issues, right? Is that too many people don't set up security measures to say, "Hey, Cinnamon, if something happened to me, you, the baby, and the baby on the way, I set everything up in a trust. Y'all be good. Hey, we're going to have this business for you on the side. If anything happened to me, or even if we break up, this is how you get money, whatever. Of course, marrying a girl is going to give her a level of security. I think she's just insecure probably on multiple levels. Yeah, because she's the one who got shot, right? Like her life flashed before her eyes. So it's like, what happens if something like that happens again, and we left without you? Then what?
Yeah. And then really, not everybody tries to go after somebody's money, because I was in a 12-year relationship, and I know it's wild. I was not married. I was engaged, and he was the breadwinner. He bought me a car, all that stuff, good stuff. I contributed. And once I left that relationship, I didn't take anything. I didn't ask for anything, no child support, no nothing. I left the home, got my own place, and paid and bought all my own stuff.
You loyal.
I don't. And, because
there are some women.
Because he's a good man. He's a good man. He, just because we didn't work out, but he was still a good man. And I would not be. That's part of the reason why we didn't get married, because he was already in a 20-year marriage and got, so, but,
And there are some women who prefer not to try to put you on child support. They're like, I got two of them in my family. Like, right. Like, who just like, they just never tried to do it. Right. But I had a question. I wanted to know, like, how much of what Becky said is reasonable to y'all? Like when she said that she thinks that she's insecure on multiple levels, because I think the marriage part is just one layer of insecurity, right? And there are other levels of insecurity that she may be feeling all at once. Like, does that make
there's a lot of levels of insecurity she got going on there. Like the marriage, the baby on the way, the getting shot, she don't have her own income,
and now them DMs that he's talking about.
She don't have her own income. She want to be able to provide for the baby too.
He the victim. Like, from what it sounds like, He dealing with he the victim. Ain't nobody even looking out for Hit Boy Holla. He got to deal with all of that. I have to shoot out, to reach out to my boy.
His
Make sure he's
ego
good.
got bruised. His ego got shot down. Poor
Well,
guy.
What if he's not? What
anybody's
if he's
ego
not
will get
providing
bruised. If my
emotional
woman sat here
safety
and
for
told
her?
me, like, yeah, you put me in this Bentley and I got a Lambo on the weekends and I got a platinum Amex and I got the 8-bedroom house and I don't have to do shit but meet you at the door with a hair tie on my wrist as I put my hair in a ponytail. But because you have to do those things, you don't have a fucking identity. I'm gonna look at you like you ungrateful son of bet. That's cool. Let's figure out some way you can contribute then. If she could work for him as a publicist or something, but at that point, if it becomes, well, I can't get it out out the mud myself, and you don't want to be interdependent on me, then we just have to figure out: do I keep you or do I just employ you now?
You know what I think part of the problem is, as men, like we listen to what women say throughout our lives, and we get to a point where we're like, all right, we know what women want. And then we realize, oh, you don't even know what you want, and I'm trying to give you what I thought you wanted, right? Because we think that women want to be stay-at-home moms, we think that they want all of these things, but then we get to a point where it's like, oh, you want an identity now, right? And it just is what it is. We got to go through that process because, even with my woman, right? Even no matter how much I bring her into my business, to a certain degree, she feels like, well, even though you're telling me it's our business, it's like mentally it's your business. You built this, like you put all the sweat equity into this. Like I have ideas too, and I want to see them come to life, right? So that's something that means something to some women, and it's like, all right, just understanding that and listening to it and be like, all right, so what can we do? How can we meet in the middle?
Yeah, just buy her a gun range and let her run that.
Guys.
Get her business. It's a great idea.
So check it out. It's time to read the super chats. MY, you up?
Damn, he got you reading tonight. Let me read Econays.
You can share.
All right, Prime VA 75 with the fin with the $5. Most black marriages have the man as the breadwinner. Laughing my ass off. Not even 40% are egalitarian. Laughing my ass off. Prime VA with the 5 again. Can someone name a race where most of the women are able to stay at home? Even here in Hawaii, these Asian women work and contribute financially.
Arabic women.
Did it say Arabic?
Yes.
Go back to it.
No, I said it. I was telling you Arabic women.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's the women. Oh, I thought I read it wrong. I'm like, man,
said a race of women.
I need to
Arabic
put
women.
things together.
Yeah.
So me 7217 with the fin with the $5. Where is it written, or who said a man's job is to take care of a woman? Has anyone ever wondered this?
The Bible.
God. Thomas Ford 6740 with the $5. Shout out to you. Pretty Intellectual is being obtuse intentionally. Trill AC is a married man. Shaking my head.
Yeah, she made a comment earlier.
Man, they might as well just leave that. See, we spending money on some shit that we see every time she on the panel. Like, you could have just say that, G. That $5 could have went to feed one of her kids.
Salute to OG Ghost J Speed. He said, Willie, he gonna give you these hands with the $20. Wanting to be something else is often a symptom of fragmented identity. Many modern women are pushed towards performing roles, the career powerhouse, the perfect aesthetic, the hyper-independent partner, rather than just being. Official Mama G with the 50. Pew, 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 pew. You got a sound effect. Pew, 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 pew.
Damn, she must have just got her taxes.
Hey, man can do everything. Hey, man can do everything women can do. Women can do everything man can do. Which sees it as transactional.
I highly disagree.
Wait, I think she meant can't do everything a man can do. She just spell check that. It's cool.
Hopefully.
No, she's pretty solid when it comes to being realistic about shit like that.
Amy 7217 with the $5. Men are held to God's standard, while women bring deceit, confusion, and expectation. Men make women literally. So, fellas, why waste time listening? Frenchie K, member for 36 months. Salute to you, church.
Yes, sir. That's 3 years. Appreciate you.
Your husband is your higher authority. Don't like it? Don't get married. Okay. Thomas Ford 6740 again with the 5. Pretty intellectual is literally the white man's tool to destroy the black man and woman.
Bro hates her.
Damn.
Me 7217 with the $10. Fellas, listen up. Male condoms were created to prevent the spread of STDs. So stop allowing yourself to be made to feel guilty for allowing herself to get pregnant. The girl condom is 99% facts.
That's right.
Miss Parker 2151. Dang. Member for 49 months. Salute to you, Miss Parker. Hey, y'all, it's been a while. It has, Miss Parker. We miss you. What's up, JR, Marcus, Trev, and True? Hi, ladies. Nice to meet you. Official Mama G with the 10. A man can't protect what he doesn't control. Control is not a bad thing. There is an order that there cannot be two heads. Absolutely. Absolutely. Miss Parker 2151 with the $2. Lakeisha, slow down. Relax in your intensity. Marcus Evans, 406.
I'm from Baltimore. Like, I still I got fun, cuz.
All right. Marcus Evans with the 406 with the $5. Hello, everyone. I'm with True. I'm glad that the tethered feminist is gone too. Now the show continues. Miss Parker 2151 with the $2. Lakeisha, you were his sponsor. Dang.
I agree. I was back then.
J Traco, G Traco 83 with the $5. Lakeisha capping. I'm just saying. No,
I'm not.
I know some.
I ain't got the lie to kick it.
No, I believe.
Hey, you look, you know she's not lying. She told that exact story like 3 years ago on a different podcast, and I ate her ass up. Pause about it because I was like, wait a second, you had a nigga at home. You was making 6 figures and paying all the bills while he was going outside and doing what?
Oh my God!
I was low key hating. I ain't gonna hold you.
You still making 6 figures?
Amen. 7217 with the $2. Amen, Riri. Preach, sister. Miss Parker 2151 with the $1.99. Define and discuss what it means to be betrothed.
Nope.
Betrothed.
Marcus Evans with the $2. Riri. Amy 7217 with the $10. Riri providing deceit. Laugh out loud. It's help meet, not help mate. Also, it's he that findeth a wife. So God's not sending guys to chicks, etc., etc.
Well, I don't think she meant like on your lap.
Maybe she misspoke.
Man, I better leave Riri alone if she cuts you out with the Bible.
Miss Parker 2151 with the $5. Riri. Marriage is a natural selection. You may actively seek your husband, and when he finds you, he then finds a good thing. Seek him circumspectly.
I don't know what that
Did
word
I pronounce
is.
that word correctly? Circumspectly?
It didn't
I
look
don't
like
know.
it was
a real word?
spelled correctly.
We're gonna say yeah, Marcus.
I'm gonna have to
Carry
look the
on.
circumspect sequence. I'm gonna look to make sure I see.
Circumspectly, right? Is it?
Because she said it, the vowel sound like all right. 3 a.m. the thought club. 3 a.m. thought club. That's a good name. Gifted 1 Lapeef membership. Salute to you, brother. Official Mama G with the $20. Women quickly accept and speak for women's PPD, but don't speak when men.
Postpartum depression.
Oh, okay. Women quick to accept and speak for women's postpartum depression, but don't speak when men make up 83% of self-unaliving rates. Where's the energy for a man's mental health? That's a good question.
1,000%. Yeah.
Great question.
That's a good topic.
Akine with the 5. No, I got it. I got it.
That's for
Because this is a good comment too. I agree with the brother Akine. Selfish men. Oh wait, let me do it. Go ahead, Willie. Do it.
Yeah, that's
Bro, this nigga hate like a Lego character. But selfish men think they're winning. You and her are winning if you're both married. A man shouldn't rub success on a woman that's been there for him.
No, let me read it. You did it wrong.
We're not allowed to. We're not allowed to
what I
be.
was supposed to read. He told me not. He started crying about
We're
this.
not
shit.
allowed to be ethnically racist anymore.
Yeah, you can't. I can't read it in my Nigerian, so I read it in English.
Oh, nigga, that's why I gave it to you.
Now?
Akine, can we read it in Nigerian without you being offended?
No, bro, he cried about it. He sent JR like a 36-page cease and desist about having his fucking chats read in his native tongue.
All right. Never mind. Yeah. Salute to you, Akina.
Should've
Brother
talked to
Noopsy with the
already.
$3 super sticker. Salute to you, brother Noopsy. Good brother Noopsy. Brother Noopsy gifted 1 Lapeef membership.
There we go.
Big Ant, $10. Marcus reading the super chats. We're gonna be here for a minute. Yeah.
I'll read them next time.
That is this.
Hey, I saw that one come in, man.
Thank you, Miss Parker 2151.
Hey, Ekin ain't cool, but like I thought when y'all had babies, y'all supposed to shake their heads.
I hate that I get every joke that everybody say because I be sitting here like, oh, damn,
That's not nice.
Yeah,
guys, but before we close out, I want to put it on record, right? I never disrespected nobody today. I was the only person disrespected today. I just want to put that on record. I've never disrespected nobody.
You ain't have to do that, nigga. We know we was here.
I just want to put it on record.
Thanks,
it's
sir.
on
People
wax
triggered.
now. You know
and shout out to Lakeisha for speaking up because that needs to happen more often. Like we've been dealing with this terrorist who continues to populate this panel. I don't know why she keep coming back. I know she know we don't like her. The people in the
she's
chat don't
welcome
like her.
on the panel.
Hey, y'all
Appreciate it.
speak for
I
yourself.
appreciate her.
Speak for yourself.
Trev.
Come on, True.
What?
Hey, Trev,
I think it's nice to hear different perspectives.
No, that's the thing.
However-
She doesn't have a different perspective. We've been hearing that same bullshit for 14 episodes in a row.
This is
Don't
my
y'all
first
need an
time here,
antagonist?
so.
Huh?
Y'all need
She's
an
not an
antagonist.
antagonist. She's fucking retarded. And y'all just keep
Gotta
letting
have
that
one.
shit slide.
Platform needs an antagonist. Yeah.
I feel like that too. I think you gotta have one.
She was
Right, you know
the
what?
antagonist.
I think
No, like,
I will
you
say,
cool,
we're
right?
definitely
You can
stirring
do
the pot.
the live. We're gonna
You can
go
do the
ahead
same
and end the
thing.
live on that.
We would much rather have
everybody.
you up here than her.
So check it
She
out.
was stirring the pot, honey.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and end this live. We appreciate everybody for coming through. If you have not, please do go ahead.